All right, everybody, we're getting the live streams going here. All right, everybody. It's 5:45. Welcome to the live stream. What up, Johnny? Welcome to the chat over on YouTube. Good to see you. Streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button. Say hi in the chat. I know you're watching. We're going to start in a couple minutes here. We'll get started in about 4 minutes, 3.5, 4 minutes. Lots of good stuff coming up this evening on our weekly scam awareness live stream. Helping to protect you from scams and make you aware of some common scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones. We're doing a live stream a little early this week on Tuesday. We usually do it on Thursdays, but because of the holiday, so maybe we'll get some new viewers that usually can't make it on a Thursday. I guess we'll find out. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Let me know in the chat if you're watching. We're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm mostly monitoring the YouTube chats, but I am checking in on the Facebook and Instagram too. So I'll do my best to get back to everybody as soon as possible, but I encourage engagement. Say hi in the chat, ask your questions, share experiences. I want to hear from you. What scams have you been targeted with? What scams have your friends been falling for? Lots of good stuff coming up this evening to talk about. We're going to go over about 20 different types of scams. I'll show you examples from phone calls and text messages and emails. Let me know how the quality is on the stream here. I made a few adjustments to the settings, so let's see if it holds up this evening. We get started about 2 more minutes here. Hit that like button. Say hi in the chat, in the comments. Let me know you're watching. Got 2 minutes to go. Now's a good time to invite some friends, get to share it on your timeline, get some more people in here, especially with the holidays coming up. It's scam season right now, so it's important to be aware of these scams. We're going to talk about specific scams to be aware of with the holidays coming up. It's a busy time of year for scammers, so best be prepared. And that's what we're here for. Spread some awareness and let you know what scams are circulating, what to watch out for, what to be aware of. Get started in about a minute. Again, let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Give us a like, a follow, subscribe. Leave a comment. I want to hear from you. I'll do my best to answer questions and interact. Get started in under a minute here. What's up, Dave? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Could always count on you guys, man. We got John and Dave over here. We're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook this wonderful Tuesday evening. Glad you guys could make it. Wasn't sure if the usuals would be able to show up or not, since it was going to be a Tuesday instead of Thursday, but there you go. Appreciate you guys. Get started in a few seconds here. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get some reactions going. Get some more people in the chat. All right, 5:50. Let's do this. Welcome, everybody, to Scam Aware 101 live stream. I'm Jared with Scam Aware 101. And our mission over here is to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals like you, me, your friends, your family, your loved ones. And these scams are super important to be aware of because these scammers want to take everything you have. They want to take your savings, your retirement fund, any inheritance you have, your life savings. They want to take it all. They don't care if you're disabled or unemployed or a veteran, retired. They don't care. They want to take all your money. So it's extremely important to be aware of these scams so you can prevent that from happening. Sadly, a lot of these victims, once they are scammed out of their money, they are never able to retrieve the funds in most cases. And that's just a sad fact, because these scammers, they're located overseas. They're out of reach of law enforcement. They're paid in ways that are hard to recover, right? And we'll talk about that a little later in the live stream. So it's more important now than ever to be aware of these scams so you can spot them and stop them before losing any money. By the time you give them money, realizing after the fact, it's too late. There are no second chances, right? So Scam Aware 101 is here to help spread awareness about these scams. We have a pretty big social media following. We're on all your favorite social media platforms. We have a mailing list that you can join over on scamaware101.com. You get a join mailing list, a free mailing list. They'll send out scam awareness tips and reminders when we're going live, let you know when we post new content. You can check out our videos on our YouTube channel. All based on scams and tips on how to protect yourself and spot these scams and avoid becoming a victim. All right, so you could help. You could help by hitting that like button, that subscribe button, that follow button. It all helps. And if you want to help out financial, we'll take that too. Scamware101.com/donate. Or we have super thanks enabled and memberships enabled over on YouTube. So we appreciate any financial help as well. But hey, give us a like, a follow. We appreciate that too. We just want to spread awareness about these scams, put something good out there, and you could help. And by the way, here's our YouTube channel. We have all our videos on here, so make sure to check that out a little later and share these videos with your loved ones. And we usually just live stream every Thursday. You can see a schedule here on our website. And we're going to talk about 20 different types of scams, at least 20 different types of scams. We're going to give you examples. We're going to show you emails and text messages, play you some phone calls of these scams. This way, when you receive one of them, you don't even have to worry about figuring out if it's a scam. You'll already know, right? You'll already be like, hey, I remember hearing this phone call already, or hearing about this text message scam. You won't even have to wonder if it's true. You'll know that it's a scam right off the bat. All right. So that's what we're here for. We're going to show you red flags to help you identify these scams as well. So help us spread awareness. Hit that like button. Let's get some more people into the live stream time. We're going to be live streaming for about 3 hours, maybe even 4 hours. We usually go for at least 3. Last week we went for 4. So we'll see how long we go this week. But lots of good scam awareness info to give you. And hey, right now is scam season. November, December, that's scam season, right? The scammers are in high gear. They're picking them up for the holidays. We're going to go over some holiday scams that you need to watch out for and be aware of too. So make sure to say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Feel free to engage and ask questions, share your experiences. We have an agenda here to go through, but these live streams, we kind of roll with it, right? If people have to start asking questions, we'll switch the topics around and we'll have conversations and answer questions. This live stream is kind of a free-for-all. So we have an agenda here, but it's flexible. So we'd much rather have some engagement in the chat and hear from you guys. We want to hear your stories and let us know what scams you've been targeted with. So say hi. Let me know you're watching and share it with some friends. So with that said, let's get started on this week's scams. Right off the bat, we're going to start with some government impersonation scams. So let's talk about Social Security impersonation scams first. We've been seeing more reports of this scam coming in recently. And it's important to be aware of that, especially during the time of year where things with Social Security are changing or being updated. Right? Scammers hear about changes to these things and they take advantage of people's confusion and they increase their scam attempts. Right? And Social Security is one of those examples. And that's when scammers impersonate Social Security officials. And sometimes they'll claim there's a problem with your account or your benefits. They'll threaten action unless immediate payment or information is provided. And sometimes they'll send fake emails that appear to be from Social Security, right? But they're actually linked to a dangerous website that installs malware or steals your details. And this is common with many government impersonation scams. Any unsolicited communication claiming to be a government agency, you have to be skeptical about, you have to verify, and you have to look into. You have to verify through official channels, right? And don't let them scare you. So for these Social Security scams, we know that's very common for these scammers. They'll call you over the phone and they'll straight up impersonate a Social Security employee or a Social Security agent. And they'll tell you that there's problems with your benefits or that they need to confirm some information or that a payment failed. All right? But don't trust it. Don't trust it. It's a scam. And the example we have here to share with you this evening is actually a email scam that's currently circulating, and it impersonates Social Security, and it claims that you have a statement available from Social Security. And this scam was reported to us earlier in, I believe it was January or February this year. But we're still seeing reports coming in as late as this month. So as recent as this month. So we know that this scam's still circulating. So if you get this email, you can see on my screen here. And I'm showing you how it looks on a mobile device first. I'll show you on a computer. All right, but on a mobile device, it's a little harder to tell that it's a scam. Right, the from address says Department of, and you can't really see anymore unless you click on it. And the email says, get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from this link. And the link looks like it points to SSA.gov. And it says, we hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration services. Please not reply to this email. Right, so it's basically an email that's claiming to be from Social Security and saying you have a statement to download. But if you look at this email on a computer, you could see a little bit more details. And it becomes a little bit more obvious this is a scam. All right, so first of all, you can actually see the email address here. You can tell it's not even from a U.S. address. It's not from SSA.gov. It's from noReply@safaricom.co.ke. So that's a red flag right there. .ke. I believe that's a Kenyan email address. Kenya. Right, so clearly this isn't from SSA.gov. And then on a computer, you can move the mouse over the link. When you hover the mouse over the link, it shows you it points to a completely different website. It doesn't really point to SSA.gov. Right? Instead, it points to a completely different website, just letters and numbers, some gibberish website. All right, so this is a scam email. They're trying to trick you into clicking this link. They're trying to make you think you have a statement available from Social Security. But if you click on that link, you're going to get infected with malware. So that's just one example of a Social Security impersonation scam email. This same trick could be used for IRS impersonation or any other government agency. You know, they could claim that you have a statement or information available or new notification or update available. And then they include a fake link that directs you to a malicious website. So you have to be careful with emails that claim to be from government agencies and want you to click links. If you can, try to avoid clicking the link altogether. Right? Instead, just go directly to the website. And you can check your account directly. Like in this case, you go to SSA.gov directly instead of clicking the link. So that's an example of our first scam this evening, Social Security impersonation scams. And look, this type of scam, it's been a big problem. Government impersonation and Social Security. In fact, here's a picture of a letter. This is the envelope of an actual letter from Social Security, and it's the envelope that it came in. So it's legit. But you can see here on the envelopes that Social Security sends out to people, they actually have it printed, scam alert. Scammers are pretending to be government employees. They may threaten you and may demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action. Do not be fooled. Hang up. Do not give them money or personal information. Right? So this is printed on the actual envelopes that Social Security sends out to people now. So it just gives you an idea of how big of a problem this is, that they're willing to print the warning on their envelopes. So watch out for Social Security impersonation scams. They're currently circulating, and let me know in the chat and comments if you've been targeted by these scams or if you've heard of someone being targeted by these scams. And how we all doing this evening? If you're just joining, say hi in the chat, in the comments, let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. Let's get some more people in here. We're going to go over some good scam awareness details this evening. This next scam we're going to talk about, sticking with government impersonation scams, is tax and IRS impersonation scams. This is when fraudsters impersonate tax authorities, claiming the victim owes taxes and must pay immediately to avoid penalties or arrests. Right? That could be a scary situation. Someone calls you up claiming they're from the IRS, claiming you owe money. They're going to arrest you if you don't pay. It could be a scary situation, right? There's other versions of this scam too, where they'll reach out to you, they'll impersonate the IRS, and they'll say you need to update your details, your banking information, your personal details. Right? But that's a scam. They're trying to get your personal information. So just like those Social Security scams that we talked about, those Social Security impersonation scams, you have to be just as suspicious with IRS impersonation scams. And one of the examples We actually have two examples we're going to share with you this evening. This is a text message example of a IRS impersonation scam. And this example was shared by the IRS this year with everybody during tax season. So they specifically warned about this text message that was circulating. This is an example of where it claims that you have a payment coming your way, but you have to confirm information. Right? But it's a scam. So it says, Internal Revenue Service, you are eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. And it has a link to a fake website. And the idea is the scammers want you to click this link and enter your banking account details. It's suspicious. Lots of scammers, they include that on their text messages. Right? Because they want you to reply. They want to know it's an active phone number. Also, if you reply, it'll activate the link too. So the scammer benefits in multiple ways. So a lot of times that's why it includes a little instruction at the end about replying and reopening. Don't do it. Don't reply. Don't open it. It's best not to interact or engage with these scammers. But yeah, so this is an example about IRS impersonation scam. IRS warned us specifically about this text message that was circulating this year. If you get it, it's a scam. Right? There is no $1,400 economic impact payment. If there was, the IRS won't be sending text messages about it. That's not how they do things. Also, a similar scam was coming out of Colorado. Right? This is just pretty much identical, except it's the Department of Revenue. Right? Instead of IRS, they're saying they're from the Colorado Department of Revenue. Your refund request has been processed and approved. Please provide accurate payment information by October 22nd, 2025. We will deposit the funds into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. Right? And then this has a link to the fake website. So IRS impersonation, Department of Revenue impersonation scams, you need to be careful about those. This example on the screen right here, Colorado, the governor of Colorado released a warning about this last month. All right, so this is a recent example. It mentions October 22nd right in there. So be on the lookout for these scam emails. And by the way, notice that this are text messages. And notice, by the way, that at the end of this text message, it has that instruction about replying yes and reopening. All right, so it's a red flag. Another red flag. It came from a country code +63. That's the Philippines. So it's also a red flag when these messages are coming outside of your country. I'm assuming most of you are from the U.S. So watch out for those IRS impersonation scams. They definitely pick up during tax season. They go all year round, but they do pick up during tax season. So important to be aware of those. This next scam we're going to talk about here, staying on the theme of taxes and IRS, is tax forgiveness scams. These always pick up again during tax season, but they're circulating all year round. They're currently circulating now. And basically, these fraudsters impersonate accountants offering tax forgiveness services, but they fail to provide the service, or they try to steal your details. Right? And there's a lot of phone calls and robocalls circulating right now that are impersonating these accounting services, and they're saying that you owe back taxes and that you're entitled to tax forgiveness. And but let me play you a couple examples that we have recorded of these phone calls. Right, and the first one I think is a good example of how scammers using AI now to sound more realistic. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a listen to this one.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick, and I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you.
So that's an example of a tax forgiveness scam robocall that's circulating. And notice that right off the bat, it opens with, you owe back taxes. So they're trying to use fear to scare you right off the bat. And then they're saying, we could help you, but you got to call back within a week. So they're trying to use urgency to get you to call back too. Those are two very common tactics used by scammers. They try to scare you, and then they try to claim there's some kind of urgency or time limit. Right? You got to act now or act fast. Right? And you need to watch out for these types of scams. Look, if you think you have some kind of tax forgiveness available, reach out to an accountant. There's no reason to trust these phone calls that are using these shady tactics. And by the way, it was a recorded phone call, right? The same phone call is playing for everybody. And it opens up with, you owe back taxes. It doesn't know if you do or not. It's a recorded phone call playing the same thing to everybody, right? And then it says, I have your file open on my desk. It's not a real person sitting there. They don't have a file open on a desk waiting for you. It was AI. It was a generated recording. And, it sounds real, but it's not. So don't fall for it. I have one more example of one of these tax forgiveness phone calls to play for you here. In this example, this one's pretty funny because it's also a recorded phone call. And it's designed in a way, though, where the person talks and then pauses and waits for your answers. He asks a question, then he pauses, waits for an answer. But it's a recording. Whether you answer or not, it's going to keep going. There's not really somebody on the other end listening. It eventually forwards you to a recording. But anyway, let me play you an example of this tax forgiveness scam. And again, you're going to hear when he asks questions, I don't answer. And you're hearing it correctly. I'm not giving any answers. And you can hear how the recording continues as if I do. So let's take a listen to this.
Hello?
Hello? I can hear you now. My name is Anthony. I'm actually one of the assistants to the director for the National Tax Relief Program. How you doing? Great. So listen, I've personally been tasked with reaching out to make sure you received information about a brand new federally approved program designed to help people who may be dealing with tax debt. It's called the Tax Dismissal Program. It's something that's helped thousands of people reduce or sometimes even completely eliminate what they owe to the IRS. Can I ask you, do you currently owe any back taxes at the moment? Okay. Do you have any unfiled tax years or any unpaid back balances? Okay, great. Let me get you this updated information. You're just going to hear a brief recording. Okay, so this special program has been recently...
Right, so you hear how that tax forgiveness robocall works? They try to make it sound like it's a real person asking you questions. He actually pauses like it's somebody listening to you, but it's not. It's a recording. It's a scam. They're trying to pitch you these fake tax forgiveness services where they either don't deliver anything or steal your personal details. So don't fall for it. And why would you even want to trust a company that's using these shady tactics, these pre-recorded phone calls, trying to seem like they're not pre-recorded? All right, so don't trust it. It's a scam, and be aware of it. Now we're going to continue with some more scams here. All right, this next scam. And by the way, if you're just joining us, hit that like button. Say hi in the chat and in the comments. Let me know you're watching. Want to hear from you. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. So say hi. Let me know you're watching. Oh, it looks like our Facebook live stream actually, it says it has ended. Well, that's rough. Guess we're not streaming on Facebook no more. Facebook's terrible with live streaming. I don't think I'm going to stream on there anymore. Just bear with me 1 sec. I'm just going to kill that live stream. In the meantime, how we all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Okay, just bear with me one more moment. Hey, Katie, how you doing? Good to see you. We got a couple other people on the other YouTube stream too, chatting. We got Dave and John in the other stream. I'm not sure if anybody else is in the one you're on right now. But good to see you, Katie. Welcome to the live stream. I had Facebook went out on us again today, so I don't think we'll stream on Facebook anymore. I'm just gonna do YouTube and Instagram, I think. Okay. All right, we're going to go back to the last stream now. I just wanted to make a note on YouTube there, or on Facebook. Let everybody know, hop onto YouTube. And we're probably not going to do Facebook anymore because it's just been a terrible experience. So, but anyway, yeah, welcome to the live stream, Katie. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Always a pleasure to see you. We got John and Dave in the other YouTube stream because we got a wide we got the vertical going and the regular stream going, so... But welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. This next scam we're going to talk about, this is a fun one. Fake promotion scam. It's actually a gift card scam. And basically, I'm going to play a phone call recording of this one. But how it works is the scammer impersonates a service provider like Comcast, for example. And they claim that your promotional discount is expiring and your bill's going to double, right? They basically say your 50% discount. Your promotional discount is going to expire. Your bill's going to double, and they call back this number, right? But when you call back, they try to tell you, well, we have a promotion going on right now with Target or Apple or some other provider or some other retail outlet. And if you pay with a gift card, they'll give you the promotional discount, right? It's a trick to get you to purchase a gift card and send it to these scammers. So let me play a phone call that you might receive. There you go.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
Right, so how that one works, again, is they're impersonating Comcast. And just because the example impersonates Comcast, I'm sure there's other variations that impersonate all the providers out there too. But in this example, they impersonate Comcast to tell you your 50% discount is going to expire, meaning your bill's going to double, right? And then they say call back number, right? Notice how they didn't leave a number to call back, though, so that's a red flag too. You know, when they leave a message saying call back number on screen or call back number shown, it's a big red flag that you're dealing with a scammer, right? But anyway, the idea is you call back this number thinking you're calling Comcast, but you're actually calling a scammer. And what they're going to do, they're going to go into this whole narrative about, well, they have a new promotion going on with Target, for example. And if you go purchase a $500 Target gift card and provide it to them, they'll apply it to your account, the discount. All right, but it's all a scam. You're not actually dealing with Comcast. They're impersonating Comcast. And the whole idea is to trick the victim into providing a $500 gift card. So watch out for that type of scam, whether it's Comcast or any other internet provider. You know, and the key of dealing with those is if you think they're real, reach out directly to your provider. Don't trust the number that they say to call. Don't trust what the caller ID says. Instead, just call back your provider directly if you think something's going on with your account. Right, but don't trust these unsolicited phone calls that claim to be from your internet provider. Oh, cool. Oh, Katie, awesome. Katie mentioned she checked out the scam awareness. Yeah, you know, it's not a perfect. You know, I put it together. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to. You know, it ended up being more of like a narrative instead of examples. But, you know, I had the content done. I had all the videos done. So I figured I'd put them out there anyway. You know, that's part of a whole course that has questions and quizzes and stuff too that I was thinking about maybe selling. There's a system set up with it. I think the link's in the description. So that was one. So it was more like experimenting, just trying out new things. But yeah, I'm so glad you checked it out there. That's really cool because I had it in that course system. Right, but then I noticed on YouTube it said that you could create a course, right? So really, it's just a playlist. I don't see anything else. It's kind of just a playlist actually, but they call it a course. So I was like, you know what? Let me load up the course videos, and at least I'll put them out there. So cool. I'm glad you checked them out. You know, I could think of a million ways to make them better, but you know what? I had them. I wanted to figure I at least put them out there. You know, instead of seeking perfection, I'd like to get like some subtitles on them and some cool graphics and stuff. But who knows when I get around to it. So I just want to at least get them up there and out there. And it's cool. I'm glad you checked it out and looking into them. Lots of useful information, but I talk a lot in him. So I don't know. I think people might get a little bored. But hey, cool. I'm glad you saw him though. This next scam we're going to talk about, and this one's important to be aware of too during the holidays. These gift card received email scams, right? You get an email and it's a notification that says you received a gift card, right? But when you attempt to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed in your device, or it takes you to a fake website that tries to steal your details. And one example is something like this. You get an email, it looks like it's from Venmo. It says your $50 gift card is here. It says your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. All right, but this is a scam. So when you get an email like this, you don't want to just trust a link. What you want to do is you want to reach out to whoever supposedly sent you the gift card and confirm that they actually sent it to you before trusting the link. Right. So in this case, you would reach out to your employer and you say, "Hey, did you send me this employee rewards card?" You know. And if he says yes, great. If he says no, well, you just avoid a scam, right? So depending on whoever it says sent it to, you want to reach out to them first. And a lot of times you're going to want to say thank you anyway, right? So it kills two birds with one stone, right? You reach out to the person, say thank you, they confirm they sent it to you, and it's all good. But the idea is you don't want to just trust it, right? If you weren't expecting a gift card, you should probably reach out, confirm it's real before trusting it. You know, again, especially with the holidays, expect to see the scam pick up a little bit more because more people are sending and receiving gift cards this time of year. All right. So any kind of email saying you got a free gift card, make sure to confirm that's real. So watch out for that email scam. Okay, saying about the course videos I put up, it gives people a taste of what to expect in lives. Yeah, you know, I crammed a lot of info in there, and you know, I think that was kind of the point though. I wanted to cram a lot of info in there. And then what I could do is I could kind of set up more classes that kind of go into more details about, like we listed off the types of scams to expect, but we didn't go into a lot of details about each specific scam. So it kind of just gives that's why I called it fundamentals, right? It kind of just gave fundamentals of, you know, the core concepts, the key concepts, right? Assuming all unsolicited phone calls could be a scammer, right? Recognizing scammers will impersonate anybody, you know. So it's important to drill those ideas and always verify through official channels. So those were kind of like the key concepts. I just wanted to drill home a lot in that fundamentals course. And then also to help people realize, look, that they're going to target you on the phone. They're going to target you on email. They're going to target you through text message. They're going to target you through snail mail, right? I tried to break it down where it's like, look, no communication is safe. You always have to have your guard up. Right. But cool. I'm glad you checked them out. I appreciate the feedback. You know, originally I was thinking maybe I was thinking maybe I'd make those videos like a member perk because I know you're a member. I'm trying to think of perks to do, but then at the same time it's like, but I want everybody to have access to that information. So it's tricky, but well, cool. I appreciate that. And in fact, speaking of Katie here, we actually got to this investment scam example. Is the next one on our list, and it's actually provided by Katie. So let's bring that one up here. This is an example of an investment scam email. And again, just because we're showing you the email version, that there's plenty of snail mail versions too, right? Probably text message versions. But you can see that red flag number one is it comes from an Outlook.com address. All right. But basically, it's an email of impersonating JMH Holdings, impersonating a holdings company, right? Also, another red flag, it's addressed to Dear Friend instead of somebody's actual name, right? That's a red flag too. And they're basically saying they're reaching out to you about a business venture and investment. Goes into some details about proposals and partnerships and yada, yada, yada. But, and it gets towards the end of the email and it says, my passport is attached for identification purposes, which is also a red flag. It's strange somebody would just attach their passport to an unsolicited email, right? And then at the end it says the only contact info to give is a WhatsApp phone number to call. And that's a red flag too. If the only details they're going to give is a WhatsApp phone number, it's suspicious. So there's lots of red flags all around when it comes to this investment, this potential investment partnership opportunity, this random email that you might receive. And the attachment, here's the passport, pictures of his passport they supposedly attached here, which is probably stolen, right? It's probably one of his victims. But the idea is, they attach this to the email and try to add more legitimacy to it, make it appear more believable. But really, they're just big red flags, right? They're big red flags. Strange for a stranger to attach their passport to a first-time email to you. It's strange that somebody would be emailing you from an Outlook.com address claimed to be from a holdings company, right? It's strange that the only phone number they include is a WhatsApp phone number. It's strange that they didn't address it to you. They put "Dear Friend." There's lots of red flags in this investment email. So don't fall for this type of unsolicited communication if you get it, whether it's an email or even just a regular letter. We know that there's a lot of these regular letters, traditional, postal service letter, floating around investment scams. Later in the live stream, we're going to show you a letter example of an inheritance scam too that's similar to this. But yeah, so that's a good example of an investment scam email to watch out for. And that was submitted by Katie. I remember Katie over here, so always appreciate that. Thank you, Katie. All right, we're on schedule here pretty much. We're going to go into some red flags in a couple minutes here. How are we all doing out there, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. It's good to see you all. Familiar faces. Appreciate you all. Anybody new that's watching, say hello. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. Follow, subscribe. We're trying to put something good out there. Spread awareness about these scams. And I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week, usually on Thursdays, but because of the holiday this week, we're doing it a little early on Tuesday. So maybe we'll get some new viewers today. We'll find out. But on this live stream, we go over 20 different types of scams. We share examples of these scams. We're going to go over some red flags that identify a scammer. All important and critical, essential information to know when you want to protect yourself from scammers. And look, these scammers today, they're ruthless. They really are. They want to take everything you have. They want to take your retirement, your inheritance, your savings. They don't care if you're a veteran. They don't care if you're disabled. They don't care if you're retired. They will take all your money and they'll take it in a way that's very hard to recover. Which is why awareness is so important, because you want to stop and recognize these scams before you lose any money to them. Because if you lose money, it's too late. Sadly, the victims don't recover funds. So it's important to spot these scams before losing money to these scammers. And that's why I created Scamware 101 over here. Katie, hopefully soon. I don't want to make any promises. I've been saying for a while now I want to get that video released, and I got most of it done. But yeah, we are going to come out with a second red flags video soon. I'm gonna say within the next couple weeks. This next video is going to be released. It's a good one too. I got like 90% done. I got a few videos like 90% done, and my ADD kicks in, and the last 10% takes me forever to get done. But they're coming. All right, but let's talk about some red flags. And we have a video about the 5 that we're going to talk about right now. We do have a video on our YouTube channel about this one, so you could share it with your friends and family if you know anybody that could benefit from this info. But look, these red flags are super important to be aware of, because a lot of times they're the only way you're going to spot these scams and stop them. And they might be your last chance in some cases. So let's talk about these 5 red flags, and definitely share these other red flags in the chat. The red flags you could think of. I already mentioned a few in the examples that we shared, right? I mentioned that instruction at the end of the text message that says reply yes and reopen. That's a red flag. When the text message comes from a country code outside of your country or the U.S., right? That's a red flag. So there's quite a few red flags still out there. Professional emails coming from like Outlook.com, like that holdings company supposedly, right? They send you an email from Outlook or Gmail. It's a little suspicious. But let's talk about these 5 red flags here, right? So red flag number 1, they direct you to third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue a conversation. So the scammers love to use these third-party chat apps because it's easier to communicate with victims worldwide, and it also offers them more anonymity to hide behind. All right, so it's common for these scammers. They'll initiate their scams through a traditional communication method like phone or text message or email. But as the communication is established, they'll try to get the victims to download an app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue a conversation. All right, and we see that often in some examples where that's part of the playbook is romance scams. Right, these scammers, they create these fake dating profiles on dating websites, and when they start communicating with their matches, they say, "Hey, let's keep talking on WhatsApp." Right, so it's a red flag. You're probably dealing with a scammer. Wrong number scams, which we're going to go over in a little bit. Right, that starts with a random text message probing for victims. People reply thinking it's just an innocent wrong number, right? But the scammer tries to continue a conversation and tries to get the person to keep talking on WhatsApp. And we'll talk about that more when we talk about wrong number scams. All right, but the red flag is they're trying to get you to download a third-party chat app or to talk on a third-party chat app. Right, investment scams, they direct you to the victim to a Telegram or WhatsApp group to pump up an investment or appear more legit. All right, we see that all the time. And a lot of times in this group, it'll be bots. So there'll be all these fake bots there making you think there's some kind of interest in this investment, but it's actually a scam. So that's red flag number 1. You're talking to a stranger online or trying to get you to use a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp. Red flag number 2, and this is a big one. This one's important because a lot of times it might be your last chance to stop this scam. Is they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? So scammers love these unusual forms of payment. So that's why because it's easier for them to move and transfer the funds quickly. Right? And it's harder for victims to recover the money after it's sent. So scammers love to ask for gift cards because once they have them, you can't get those funds back. Cryptocurrency, depositing at a Bitcoin ATM, those all need to be red flags in your mind because scammers love those types of payments. All right, and some scams are as part of the playbook here. Government impersonation scams like IRS and Social Security impersonation scams. Right, we just talked about those a little earlier. Right, and a lot of times these scammers impersonate government agencies. They'll ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. And look, if you're in a situation where you feel like you're talking to a government agency and they're asking you for payment with gift cards, cryptocurrency, using a Bitcoin ATM, is 100% a scam. Government agencies don't accept payment that way. So maybe in the future we'll accept crypto, but as of right now, anybody claiming to be with a government agency saying you could pay with crypto or gift cards is a scam, don't trust it. All right. Got romance scams. A lot of these romance scammers, they request gift cards and cryptocurrency from their emotionally attached victims. Right? The victim thinks that they're just sending a gift card to a loved one, right? And a lot of times they think they're depositing cryptocurrency into a shared account. But what they don't realize is they don't have access to that cryptocurrency account. And once they realize they're being scammed, they have no way to get those gift cards back or cryptocurrency back. That's why the romance scammer prefers those types of payment, right? Because they know once they're found out, the funds are still safe. The victim's not going to be able to get them back, right? And there's bank impersonation scams. A lot of times, these victims are tricked into thinking their money's not safe and they need to withdraw that money and move it in some kind of way. And often they're told to deposit in a Bitcoin ATM, purchase gift cards, purchase prepaid cards. All right, and that's a big red flag. Don't trust it. We see that a lot in these bank impersonation scams, or they claim to be a government agency investigating fraud. And they convince the victim, you got to move your money. It's a red flag. Don't trust it. Take a look at red flag number 3 here. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Look, this is a common scam. We see it a lot with Google Voice scams too, which I'll talk about in a minute. But there's no reason an individual should be sending a code to your phone and telling you to provide it back. It's a big red flag, and it's a tactic used by scammers. We see it a lot on marketplace-style websites like Facebook or Craigslist. Right? And basically what they're really trying to do is they could be trying to access an account attached to the victim's phone number. Right? And the victim replies with that security code, they give the scammer access to their account. Right? They'd be trying to reset the victim's password. The victim replies to that security code. They could allow the scammer to reset their password and access their accounts. Right? And there's the Google Voice scam. The victim doesn't realize it, but the scammer could be trying to link a Google Voice account to their phone. Right? If the victim gives that code back to the scammer, they allow that Google Voice account to be linked to their phone. Now the scammer has a fraudulent Google Voice account to use for scamming, and it goes back to the victim. Right? It points back to the victim, it's linked to their phone. So it's always a red flag if somebody asks you to return a code that they're providing to your phone. Don't trust it. It's a scam. Don't fall for it. Next red flag here. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Super important to be aware that scammers do this a lot now. It's part of the playbook now to connect to your device. And why do scammers want to connect to your device? Because it's a gold mine to them, right? They can steal your logins and passwords. If you have your logins saved in your browser, for example, your Chrome browser, right? Victims can get their logins and passwords stolen as they give a scammer access to their device. Encrypting the victim's files, they could hold them for ransom, right? Blackmail. If you have, personal pictures and things, they will blackmail you with them. They could attempt to access your online banking websites and other financial details through your PC. Right? A lot of times, these scammers, the victims don't realize they're talking to the scammer, and they log right into their bank accounts while the victim's on their PC, and the victim, while the scammer's on the PC, and the scammer sees how many funds they have in their bank account. Right? You never want to let these scammers onto your device. And some scams where that's part of the playbook is these tech support scams with these fake virus alerts. Right? It tricks victims into calling a fake tech support number, and scammers connect to the victim's device to fix the virus, but it's really part of the scam. Right? Fake order scams. So when the scammers impersonate customer support and they're assisting with an order, they'll offer to connect to the victim's device and say, hey, let me see what notification you're receiving. But it's a scam, they're just trying to get on your device. Right? And then there's the fake fraudulent activity, right? The bank impersonation scams, where they claim that your money's not safe, you need to move your funds. A lot of times they'll say, we detect a suspicious activity, let me connect your device and we'll check your other bank accounts. Well, that's a scam. What's really happening is you're logging into your bank accounts while the scammer sees the funds you have in each one. All right, so only let trusted people you know onto your device. You should already have in mind who would work on your computer if you had a virus, for example. Right? If there's some kind of issue with your computer and you're getting a pop-up or somebody's telling you there's a problem, you should already have in mind who you're going to call. You shouldn't have to call phone numbers, random phone numbers popping up on your screen, right? You should already have an idea whether it's the local computer shop down the street or that family member that's good with computers. Whoever it is, you're going to call for help when you need it. All right, so that's red flag number 4. They ask to connect your device to assist or investigate an issue. And then red flag number 5 here. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. We see this a lot in scams because scammers don't want you to discuss a situation with other people. The more people you talk to, the more likely to be told it's a scam. All right. So a lot of times these scammers, they come up with these elaborate stories or these reasons for you not to tell anybody or why you should keep it confidential or secret. Right? But that's a big red flag. And some examples where that's part of the playbook, we're asking you to keep the matter confidential or secret, is grandparent scams. We're going to go over this one a little bit. It's when they impersonate a relative, right, that needs trouble. They've been in some kind of accident and they're in jail, right, and they need money. Right? And a lot of times the scammers impersonate a cop and he says, your daughter, your granddaughter's embarrassed, she asked you not to tell anybody. Right? But that's actually a red flag. They're requesting secrecy. Right? They just don't want you to talk to anybody else and find out it's a scam. Investment scams, they'll tell you it's an inside tip, not to tell anybody, a price is just for you. It's all part of the scam. Don't trust it. Right? Inheritance scams. They mail letters impersonating law offices regarding an inheritance. The letter often requests confidentiality. I'm going to show you an example of one of those scams in a little bit. And then there's the fake fraudulent activity that we keep talking about, right? Where the scammer reaches out to you, they impersonate the bank or an agency investigating suspicious activity. And they'll tell you to keep it confidential, keep it secret, because you might impact or hurt the investigation, right? But that's all part of the scam. They just don't want you to talk to anybody. All right, so that's red flag number 5. They request confidentiality or secrecy. All right, it's a reason for pause to think about what's going on. Let me know in the chat if you ever encountered those red flags. We're streaming live over on Instagram and YouTube. So just in summary, if you joined a little late, those 5 red flags. Red flag number 1, they direct you to a third-party chat app, like Telegram or WhatsApp, to continue the conversation. Look, if you're talking to a stranger and they're telling you to download any app, it should be a red flag. But if you're trying to get you on a third-party chat app, it's a red flag too. All right. Red flag number 2, they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing money at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? All red flags, these unusual forms of payment, they're harder to recover once you send them, right? And they transfer quickly. So scammers ask for these unusual forms of payment. Right? Big red flags. They even mentioned Bitcoin ATM, gift cards. You need to have a red flag, an alarm go off in your head. Red flag number 3, they ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Right? It's a common scam. There's no reason an individual should be sending a code to your phone and asking you to return it. Be suspicious if somebody's asking you to do that. Red flag number 4, they ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. All right, we see this more and more these days. Scammers love to get onto your device. It's a gold mine to them. All right, so someone's trying to connect to your PC. It's a red flag. Only let trusted people onto your devices. And red flag number 5, they request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Absolutely. These scammers, they don't want you talking to anybody. The more people you talk to, the more likely to be told it's a scam, right? So they try to keep you quiet, at least until you get your money. All right, so that's red flag number 5. They're requesting you keep the matter confidential or secret. So if you encounter any of these red flags, be suspicious, be alert, and take pause and reanalyze the situation. Right? Don't fall for it. Don't become a victim. What do you all think? We have a video of those 5 red flags. So if you have a friend or loved one, you share that video on our YouTube channel with them. Hey, Stephen Burns, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Red flag 1A, social media. Red flag 2A, Bitcoin. Yeah, red flag 2A, Bitcoin. That definitely falls under my red flag number 2, the cryptocurrency. We're requesting payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, and cryptocurrency for sure. Bitcoin's the big one. And social media. Yeah, so I have another video on social media scams. It's about 90% done. But, social media alone, there's so many scams there, right? I have a video in works about comment scams, where I'm just talking about some common scams that you'll find in Facebook comments, right? You'll get the comment saying you want a prize in a sweepstakes scam that they'll try to target in a comment, right? Things like that, or the comments with the links to fake websites, where they'll post a comment and be like, "I caught that on video. Click here to see the video," but it takes you to a malicious website. There's so many social media scams. We're going to talk about the scammers purchasing ads in a little bit, right? Because scammers purchase ads all over social media too. So yeah, absolutely. Social media is full of scams. And I mentioned Bitcoin. It's a red flag. We know scammers love to get Bitcoin. All right. And now, just to take that unusual forms of payment a little further, they're actually requesting gold. They're telling victims to go and purchase gold, which is interesting, because I'm wondering what the process they tell the victims is as far as that goes. And then they're also having couriers now pick up cash from victims, including Uber. They're actually having Uber couriers pick up cash from victims. Because there's been cases where the Uber drivers have been getting arrested, but they don't realize it's a scam or have any idea what's going on. So, yeah, these scammers are getting clever as far as the forms of payment. So, but yeah, red flags for sure. Thanks, Steve. All right. Been streaming for about an hour here. Time to refill the Scamaware 101 travel mug, which is available on our YouTube store and our merch store on our website. During this live stream, we usually go for about 3 or 4 hours, so just take 2 quick 5-minute breaks just to refill the coffee mug, stay caffeinated for you folks, give you all a couple-minute break too. And we have lots of good scams coming up for the second portion of our live stream here. Arrest warrant scams, bank impersonation scams, tech support scams, road toll scams. Important to be aware of during a holiday. Fake traffic ticket scams too. Talk wrong number scams. Lots of good stuff coming up. So stay tuned. I'm going to play our theme song for you during our break here. Dave created this theme song for us. It's awesome. We appreciate it. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. Make sure you hit that like button, share this live stream. Let's get some more people in here. I'll be back momentarily.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scamming truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pig butchering scams, fat wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broke in despair. Stay woke, my people, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
All right, everybody. Going to continue here. Continue with the live stream in a moment. Little Meg 3 dropping a new rap album. Welcome to the live stream. Gobble gobble week to everybody indeed. Got my turkey on the screen here. My happy Thanksgiving turkey in the festive spirit. All right, we're going to continue here. All right, everybody, welcome back to the live stream. We're going to kick off our second portion here with some more common scams, all actively circulating, all important to be aware of. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101, and we do this live stream as one of the many ways that we try to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals like you, me, your friends, family, your loved ones. Right? Everybody should be aware of these scams. We're all being targeted by these scams, whether it's emails and phone calls and text messages, even traditional mail, which are all some scams that we're going to be sharing with you this evening. We're entering our second hour of the live stream here. We usually go for about 3 hours. Sometimes we can go up to 4 hours. We'll see how we're doing tonight. But hit that thumbs up button. Give us a like. Give us some reactions in the chat and in the comments. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what scams you're being targeted with, and what horror stories you have about scammers taking advantage of friends, family, and loved ones. You can help support what we're doing over here. We gladly accept donations at scamaware101.com/donate. We also have memberships and super thanks enabled on YouTube. So if you want to help out by sending a couple bucks, we appreciate that. We also have some merchandise available in our merch shop and in our YouTube store, including our Scamaware 101 travel mugs and mouse pads and stickers and water bottles and all merch that you would kind of keep in front of you on your desk. So they make great stocking stuffers and gifts for that loved one that keeps getting scammed, because they have these things on their desk, right? It's a nice little reminder, don't fall for scams. I picture somebody that's about ready to type their credit card information into a fake website, but then they look at their Scamaware 101 coffee mug that's on their desk, and they remember, wait a minute, don't fall for that scam, right? So check them out in our gift shop and our YouTube store. We appreciate it. And hey, we know times are tough. It's the holidays, so hit that like button, give us a follow, give us a like. We're happy with that. We appreciate just any support we can get here. So help us do something good, spread awareness about these scams. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, X. And make sure to join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Join mailing list. It's free to join. Now, with that said, let's continue with some more common scams to be aware of. Oh, yeah, Katie says she was targeted with the fake tax scam and a job scam too in the last 2 weeks. Oh, was it a phone call tax scam or an email tax scam? Just curious. Or a text message, because we were showing some text message tax scams earlier. Also job scam too. The job scam, I'm going to guess the job scam was a text message scam, right? I'm going to guess that. These arrest warrant scams. We did a video about this one too. You can check it out on our channel. We included some warnings that were coming off from sheriff's departments and things like that. But arrest warrant scams. The victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. And this could be a scary situation. Someone gets a phone call. And look, these scammers, actually we haven't mentioned it yet tonight, but these scammers, they can manipulate what the caller ID shows. And it's very important to be aware of that. And what I mean by manipulate caller ID, I mean when they call up claiming there's an arrest warrant that's going to be issued and they're impersonating the sheriff's department, your caller ID will show the sheriff's phone number. They'll show the sheriff's department name on the caller ID. But you can't trust it, right? Because these scammers, they can manipulate the caller ID. And we know that they do that with these arrest warrant scams. So that's very important to be aware of. So you can get one of these phone calls. They claim to be the local sheriff's department. Be a scary situation. You look at your caller ID. It really says sheriff's department. Oh, no, right? And you can see how someone can fall for this scam and start handing over money, right? And these scammers, they'll threaten, we're going to send our deputies there to arrest you immediately. A lot of times they'll say it's because you missed jury duty or you failed to appear in court for something, right? So they'll say that. And they'll even offer fake paperwork sometimes. So in a situation like this, what you have to do is hang up the phone. If you're concerned that's real, reach out to the organization that supposedly issued the arrest warrant through official channels. You don't trust the person you're talking to. Don't call back the number the person tells you to call back. Actually reach out through official channels directly to the sheriff's department or police department they're impersonating. But look, arrest warrants aren't usually handled in this way. You know, they're not just going to call you. A lot of times they're pretty much going to show up instead. So it's most likely it's going to be a scam. Right. And there's a lot of warnings about this type of scam because the scammer is impersonating law enforcement. And law enforcement doesn't like that, right? So there's lots of warnings about this scam coming out of sheriff's departments and police departments. So be aware of this one. Don't fall for it. You know, somebody calls you claiming there's an arrest warrant out. You know, like with any unsolicited communication, you need to hang up and verify. Okay, says, so Katie was saying they were both phone calls. Oh, the tax scam and the job. Wow, phone calls, huh? Interesting. Yeah, you know, now you mention it. Yep, I get those phone calls about jobs too. I guess they're, we get so used to seeing them in text messages. But yeah, yep. I guess they do. They do reach out to you over the phone. I got a text message one the other day. Oh, that reminds me. I was actually going to reply back to it, just kind of document what happens. I actually forgot. Maybe I'll do that a little later. We'll see. All right, this next scam we're going to talk about here. Bank impersonation scams. So this is when scammers impersonate the bank and usually claim suspicious activity was detected under the victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers that were impersonating the bank. And this is another example of one of those scams where caller ID will even show the bank's name and number. All right, so the victim gets a call. The person on the other end says, I'm with your bank. The caller ID shows the bank's name and number, and the victims think, oh, I can trust what this person's telling me. And a lot of times, this is why the victim fell for it. You hear the victim's story, and at the end of the day, they said, look, the caller ID said the bank, so I thought it was the bank. They'll say, I thought it was strange what they were telling me to do. It seems weird, but hey, the caller ID said it was the bank, so I thought it was the bank. Right, so it's important to realize, caller ID could be manipulated. Which, by the way, Katie, you mentioned those last two scams were phone calls. Do you happen to notice if the caller ID helped support the scam, or was it just a random number? Just out of curiosity. Let's see, one was from AO Global Life, which is a phishing scam. Okay. Interesting. So these bank impersonation scams, I have an example to share with you here. It's a text message example. And what's interesting about this text message example is the person who provided it, she actually received a call right before, right? And the call, it showed the bank's phone number on caller ID, the bank's name and phone number on caller ID, right? TD Bank. She didn't answer. And then immediately after, she gets a text message. Right? But it's a scam. The phone call was a scam, and then the follow-up text message is a scam. So this is an example of how these scammers, they'll be persistent. They'll try on the phone first, then they'll send you a text message follow-up. And don't put it past them. Don't mistake their persistence as, legitimacy. And you can see in this text message, it says, verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? So what this scammer is doing is they're trying to impersonate one of those text notifications of, you use your credit card somewhere, you get a confirmation text sometimes. So the idea is the scammer wants you to reply no, and then they're going to try to connect you on the phone and get information from you and your bank information and details, and eventually try to get money, get your funds. Right? But it all starts off with these fake bank impersonations with a phone call and a text message. And they might even know what bank you use already. Sadly, these scammers, they know a lot about us. They have information about us already. So they may even know what bank to use when they're targeting you. So, and also we have a victim's story here. In her case, she fell for a bank impersonation scam that they were impersonating Wells Fargo. And it says, this young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained. Right, and she said, she did everything they said to do, and they literally drained my bank account, she explained. And she said, I got a call from Wells Fargo number saying that I had fraudulent activity on my account and that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. Zelle's another red flag to be aware of, too. Scammers do love getting paid with Zelle. They've moved on to types of payment that are less limited, but they still use Zelle for a few $1,000s worth of payments. Right, so this scammer reached out to her, claimed to be from the bank, said she needed to secure her Zelle account. Her caller ID said the bank's phone number said Wells Fargo, so she thought she was talking to the bank. They told her she needed to transfer money to secure her Zelle account. And they actually tricked her into transferring money to them. So that's an example of a bank impersonation scam. They used Zelle, they spoofed the caller ID, and made it appear like it's from the bank. That's extremely common. So any kind of unsolicited communication like this, definitely claim to be from a bank, right? You need to, just like them all, hang up and verify. Call your bank back directly and verify anybody that's telling you something like this. You can't just trust an unsolicited phone call. And one other thing to note is notice the woman's age too, right? This is a younger woman. This isn't an older, retired folks. You're just not losing as much money. All right, so it's important for everybody to be aware of scams. Everybody's vulnerable. If you're young, don't get cocky. These scammers, they do this for a living. They're convincing and they're clever. So anyway, bank impersonation scams, watch out for them. How you doing out there this evening? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the comments and in the chat. We're on Instagram and YouTube. Got some familiar faces tonight. Good to see Dave and Megan and Katie and John and I remember Steve too. So good to see you all. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And anybody else that's quiet out there that I don't know is watching, hit that like button and don't be shy. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're here. Make sure to follow, follow, subscribe. We can use all the support we can get. This next scam we're going to talk about is tech support scams. Important to be aware of this one. And they're all important to be aware of, but a lot of folks are falling for this one and losing a lot of money to this one. And basically, this is when victims receive a fake virus alert on their device, and they're tricked into calling a fake tech support phone number. The victim is usually unknowingly connected to a scammer who requests access to the victim's device. The scammer then steals personal and financial information from the victim. Right, so let's talk about this a little bit more. It is worth spending a minute on. We also did a video about this one too. But basically, everybody's susceptible to this type of, vulnerable to this type of scam. It doesn't matter what device you're on. If you're browsing the internet, you get one of these fake internet pop-ups that says, warning, you have a virus. Warning, you've been infected. And it says, call this number. And that's how a tech support scam works. It tricks you into calling a fake tech support number. And some of these fake virus alerts, they could look extremely convincing. So in this first example, it impersonates McAfee. And this is just a fake website pop-up, right? But it's got the McAfee logo, the colors. Action required, your PC is infected with a virus, right? Call McAfee helpline. Right? But if you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. Right? And how you can tell that this isn't a real virus alert is because it has a phone number. Real virus alerts won't have a phone number to call. Right? So don't fall for this type of fake virus alert scam. But you can see how somebody, for example, has McAfee, right? This could be very convincing. Oh, I'm getting an alert from McAfee. Let me call a number. Nah, it's a scam. Don't do it. Another example, impersonates Norton by Symantec. Threats detected. Call support. System critically infected. If you're not able to click on this button, immediately contact support. As a phone number to call. But if you call, you're actually connected to a scammer. Right? And what's funny about this this alert is the buttons are designed not to work. Right? And then it has a note that says, if you're not able to click on this button, immediately contact support phone. Right? Well, if you try to click on a button, it's not going to work. So you're going to try to call a number. But don't do either. It's a scam. Don't fall for it. Again, it's not. You can tell it's a fake virus alert because it has a phone number to call. A real virus alert won't have a phone number to call. Here's another example. This one impersonates Windows Defender. It has Microsoft's logo, Windows Defender's logo, the color scheme all there. All right. Threat detected. Access to PC has been blocked for security reasons. Contact Windows support. All right, but if you call that number, you'd be connected to a scammer. That's how this tech support scam works, is they trick you into calling a fake tech support number. And then they ask for access to your device, and from there, it's no good. They start extracting your logins, your passwords, your banking details. No good. Let's look at a couple more examples of these tech support scams. So I mentioned everybody's vulnerable to these. It doesn't matter if you're on your Windows computer, your iPhone, your MacBook. It doesn't matter. You get these fake pop-ups. For example, here's a few that target Mac users. All right. Virus found. Big scare red letters. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. Please call tech support as soon as possible. Data at risk. Your credit card details. Your email and password. Your Facebook and Skype. Private photos. Your webcam could be accessed. All scary stuff, right? It's got the Safari logo there. So this targets Mac users and tries to get you to call his phone number. You actually get connected to a scammer. Here's another example. One person says Apple Care. Warning. macOS is infected with viruses and other malicious applications. Virus must be removed. System damage repaired. Please call Apple support. There's a number listed there. If you call that number, you're connected to scammer. It doesn't really call Apple. They'll impersonate support. They'll impersonate Apple, but it's a scam. Here's one more example targeting Mac users. It's an older example, but still relevant. It's got the Mac logo there. Warning, macOS is infected with spyware and other malicious applications. Call Apple helpline. Please call Apple support. And it's got the number there. but that's not their number. If you call, you connect to a scammer. So that's how these tech support scams work. They pop up these scary virus alerts, right? And the idea is to scare the user into calling these fake tech support numbers that actually call a scammer. This is a scam that, anybody could fall for it, but it is one where statistically the older folks seem to be victims of this one more. So make sure older folks in your life are aware of this fake tech support scams and pop-ups. And this goes back to keeping in mind, they should already have in mind somebody to call, right? This way, if you get one of these fake pop-ups saying to call a number, you're not even tempted, right? You're going to call your computer person instead, or a family member that knows about computers instead. You don't call a random number that pops up. All right, this next scam, we're going to keep going here. Lots of good stuff this evening. And this one's important to be aware of with the holidays coming up. These next two scams. And if you're looking for conversation to bring up at the dinner table during Thanksgiving, you can warn the family about some of these scams because they will pick up during the holidays. So it's important to be aware of them. So you can be the hero. Instead of arguing with the family about politics or something like that, you can bring up, hey, here's how you can protect yourself about some common holiday scams I heard about. Hey, you hear about this holiday scam going around? Or you hear about this text message scam going around? Don't fall for this scam, guys. All right, so this one we're going to talk about is a Rotoll scam. And this one we started seeing a lot last year. This one started becoming a thing. Everybody was getting this text message over the past year, these fake Rotoll scams. And they impersonate EasyPass, SunPass, Fast Track. They impersonate so many different agencies. They claim an unpaid toll is due. The victim's usually contacted by text message. I have a bunch of examples of that text message to share with you and show you. With these scams now, the scammers are going to start sending more of these text messages out because they know people are traveling, right? They know people are traveling, so you're more likely to think, I must have drive Massachusetts, Department of Transportation, DMV. They even made up toll collection agencies, that they sent out. So these scammers, they're impersonating everybody claiming that you missed a toll. Right, it's a numbers game to them. And here's some examples. What's interesting about this scam is it evolved over the past year. It started very basic with just please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd in order to avoid excessive late fees, potential legal action. Please pay in time. Right, and it's got a link to the fake website. There's that instruction we mentioned earlier where it says please reply yes and reopen. Right, very common instruction we see in these scam text messages. Another example. Easy Drive, Massachusetts. Reminder, your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. It's got a link to the fake website. This example came from a 6-3 country code, which is the Philippines. Here's one that just came with an attachment. It was a blank text message, but it has a PDF attachment, which, by the way, never open attachment from unsolicited communication. They weren't expecting, right? Whether it's an email or a text message. If you weren't expecting an attachment, you don't know who it's from, don't open it. But if you did open it, it would look like this. All right, in this case, it says toll violation from the Toll Enforcement Authority. It doesn't say where, right? They keep it kind of open, or they don't say where, so it could apply to anybody. And then it's got the link to the fake website to pay your toll, supposedly. And they say $9 is due. But what's important to realize, this isn't about stealing $9 from you. This is about stealing your payment details, right? You enter your payment details, you're not going to get charged $9. They're going to steal your payment details and do a lot worse with it. All right. So, again, this example just had an attachment to it. All right, so you go to any of these fake links, the websites will look real. Scammers are professionals at making these realistic-looking fake websites, right? And here's what one that impersonates the Washington State Department of Transportation is good to go service. Right? They got the logo there, the color scheme there, very realistic looking. Any details you enter, and payment details get stolen. That's how these fake Rotoll scams work. Now, what's interesting about this fake Rotoll scam is it kind of evolved over the past year. Like, it evolved a lot. There are lots of different versions of the text message going out. They became more threatening. They started inserting dates. Right? But then we started seeing, sorry, bear with me, fake traffic ticket text messages, right? Which they're the same MO as a fake road toll text messages, right? You get this text message, except instead of claiming you have an unpaid road toll, it claims you have an unpaid traffic ticket, right? It's very similar. This one impersonates the Illinois Department of Motor Vehicles. Right, final notice, enforcement penalties begin July 25th. The records show as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket. Right, if you don't complete payment by July 24th, we will take the following actions, right? And it lists all the scary things you're going to do if you don't pay this unpaid traffic ticket. Report to the DMV, suspend your vehicle registration, suspend driving privileges, transfer to a toll booth, prosecuted, your credit score. Right, all scary stuff. They want you to click this fake link here. So just like the unpaid road toll text message, this is pretty much the same, except it's an unpaid traffic ticket, outstanding traffic ticket. And we started seeing an increase of these going out. And again, just because this example is the Illinois Department of Vehicles, here's an identical example, right? Except it's Nebraska. Instead of Illinois, it says Nebraska Department of Motor Vehicles. Everything else is the same, right? The fake state administrative code and the same penalties and what's going to happen to you, right? Except they just replaced Illinois with Nebraska. So a good rule of thumb is once you see scams circulating, targeting one state, they're pretty much circulating in every state, right? So, and the same goes for unpaid road tolls, outstanding traffic ticket, text messages. Don't trust them. All right. You need to verify through official sources. You know, if you're concerned that you really do owe a toll, don't trust a link. Don't call a number in a text message. You know, instead, look into your app, you know, your Easy Pass app or whatever you use. See if there's anything listed there. And then reach out to the official department. You know, go online and find their official website if you're concerned and want to see what's real. But look, if you get a text message that looks like any of the examples I showed you, they're scams. Most of the time, if you get a text message like this, they're going to be scams. Right? So don't fall for it. Don't click the links. Only verify through official channels if you're concerned it's even real. But be aware that this is a very common scam. It always picks up during the holidays with holiday travel. So I'll expect to see this one a lot for the next 2 months at least. 2-3 months. It says road toll scams and fake traffic ticket text message scams. Important to be aware of those. We did a video about the road toll scams last year. Didn't get as much views as I think it deserved. It would have been nice if it got more views because that scam definitely picked up. I think when we originally made the video of these fake road toll scams, I think one of the stats was it had only been reported like 3,000 times at that time, and only in a couple states. So we released a video about it, but then in a matter of months, it was across the country. Everybody was getting them. Then it evolved into the outstanding traffic ticket. It went wild. So, but unfortunately, you know, you get what you get when it comes to the views. But hey, we try to stay ahead of the game, and sometimes the videos get the attention they deserve, sometimes they don't. But we just try to stay ahead of the game when we can. So this next scam we're going to talk about, wrong number scams, and talking about videos that get the attention they deserve. We did a video about wrong number scams. It's actually the most popular video that we have. It's the first and only one that we got that actually went viral. We got over 101,000 views so far, which is awesome. 101,000 views. So very cool. But yeah, it's a video we did about wrong number scams here. And that's when scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue a conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. Right? So the thing about wrong number scams is a way for scammers to reach new victims. And they do it just by sending random messages to random phone numbers. Right? And the idea is they just want you to at least reply. They want you to reply, and then if they can, they want to continue a conversation with you. Right? But even replying to them lets the scammer know your phone is active. It lets them know to target you with more scams. So it's good not to reply to these wrong numbers. Yeah, my advice is don't reply at all. Even if you don't know if it's a legit wrong number message or not, I don't reply. You know, to me, it's not worth it. If it's a real wrong number message, they'll realize it. they'll figure it out because 99% of the time it's not going to be worth replying because most times it's going to be a scammer and now they're going to target you even more. Right? But let me show you some examples of how these wrong number scam text messages might start and how the conversations might go. But the thing that's tricky about them is they can start with any kind of message, right? Anything, because the idea is they just want you to reply at first. So it could be just any random message. It could be something like, excuse me, is this Emma? Or, hey, Anna, I'm Josie. Or it can even just start with a message that says hi, right? Anything. Because the idea is they just want you to reply. Hi. So you reply back, who is this? Well, now they know your number's active. Hey, Anna, I'm Josie. Wrong number. Well, now I know. No, excuse me, this is Emma. No, it's not Emma. Wrong number. Well, now I know your number's active. Right? So they could start this scam off with any kind of message, right? And here's an example of how a conversation might go. Because what they're going to do is they're going to try to learn about you at first. They're going to try to get your age, your name, your location. Then they're going to decide what scam to target you with. All right, so here's an example of one wrong number scam text message conversation here. Starts all with, I'm Margaret. You Lillian? Person replies back, I'm Izzy. Right. I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number when saving. I hope I didn't disturb your good day. Right. And then the victim replies back, that's okay. At this point, conversation should end, right? Because it establishes the wrong number. But because the wrong number scam, the scammer continues. They start asking about you. Thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. Hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age? All right. So this one goes into asking your age. And then eventually you ask your location, your name. All right, it's a wrong number scam. Look at another example of a conversation might go. Starts with a completely random message. Have a cup of coffee together sometime. Right? Victim replies back, who is this? Scammer replies back, is this my friend Zoe? All right, no, yeah, wrong number. Okay, at that point, conversation should end, but scammer keeps going. I'm sorry, I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number or area code. I hope I'm not bothering you. Victim replies back, no, you're good. Have a great day. All right. But scammer keeps going because even though it's established to be a wrong number, the idea is the scammer wants to befriend you. They want to loop you in this conversation. Eventually, they're going to ask you to send a message on WhatsApp and use a third-party app. But again, the conversation should end, but because of the scam, they keep going. Thank you for your kindness to my situation. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? All right. So first example asked age. This one asks where you're from. Because that's what they do. Got another example here for you. So in this example, it just starts with a message that says hi. And we reply back, hi, who is this? All right, scammer replies back, I'm Karina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party. All right, reply back, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. Right, conversation should end at that point. Right, wrong number's established, but it's a scammer to keep going. Oh my God, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you. All right, reply back, that's okay, no problem. Right, again, conversation should end. Scammer keeps going. Thank you very much. You're a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? We reply Pat, just to mess with him. All right. And it replies, you have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? And then we cut off the conversation. But it gives you an idea of how these random numbers, random text messages, right, claiming to be a wrong number, right, but they try to befriend you. They try to gain your trust. And once they do, they're going to try to target you with a romance scam or a pig butchering scam usually. Pig butchering scam, it usually involves a crypto app. They try to get you to invest money. They think you're going to get a bunch of money back. So they say they're fattening up the pig, and then they butcher you after you invest all the money, they say. So they call it pig butchering. But look, it all starts off, a lot of these, they all start off with just a simple wrong number scam. So it's important to recognize, don't reply to wrong numbers. Don't engage with a scammer. Realize that, this is a popular scam. Got another example we'll share with you here. And this one, the scammer includes a picture, right? You get a random text message. Hi, Byron, I'm Jane. And they include a picture of a woman here, right? Try to give you some incentive to reply back. You can see 4 hours goes by. Don't reply. 4 hours goes by and they reply. They send a message. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? So a couple things to recognize about this example, right? One, the scammer includes a picture, right? So that's the tactic they use to try and get you into more. Is this a picture of a real person? Who knows, right? The scammers used to steal pictures from real people, right? But you used to be able to do a reverse image lookup, it's called, and you could check and see if the picture shows up anywhere else. Right? So you could get an idea of whether or not it's actually a scammer. Well, now they got AI, so this could have just been generated with AI. So is it a real person? Who knows? Is it an AI image? Could be. And the problem is they generate these images with AI now. So you do a reverse image lookup, you're a lot less likely to find an image anywhere. You know. So that's one thing about this example, this wrong number scam example. They'll send you a random text message. They'll include a picture. You know. And the other thing to note about this example is there's no reply, right? And then 4 hours later on the dot, you get the follow-up message. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? 4 hours on the dot. And I want to point that out because the original message comes at 1:58. There's no reply. And then at 5:58, the follow-up message comes. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? So I point this out because it's important to realize these are bots, right? This isn't even a person on the other end sending all these messages out to people, right? All the examples I shared with you about these wrong number scams, these are bots. The bots are programmed to send out hundreds of thousands of text messages per day. They're sending out the same text message to hundreds and thousands of just random numbers, right? And in this case, if a number doesn't reply, the bot's programmed after 4 hours on the dot, send the follow-up message. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? So this bot is programmed to just gather your initial information, your location, your age, your name, and then eventually, after it gathers this information, it'll connect it to a real scammer will take over and continue building that relationship with you. But these wrong number scams, they all start off with a bot that's just sending out the same text message to hundreds of thousands of people, trying to gather information and trying to get, hook people and get them to respond. So don't fall for it. It's a wrong number scam. Don't fall for the bait. Yeah, we did a video on that. It got over 101,000 views, which was wild. So very cool. A lot of people left comments on that video too, confirming they received the exact same message, the exact same pictures. All right, so be alert. Don't fall for it. How we all doing tonight, folks? Just updating the timeline here, the plan. All right, cool. We're going to keep going. We got a bunch more scams we're going to be covering tonight. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. And we do this live stream to spread awareness of common scams. So thank you for joining. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button. Give us some reactions in the comments and in the chat. I want to hear from you. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Help us spread awareness. Get something good out there and help people protect themselves from these scammers. We've been streaming since 5:45 p.m. Eastern. We're about an hour and a half or so in. So lots of good stuff still coming up. We're going to be going for at least another hour and a half, 2 hours. So definitely a lot of useful information still to come up and still time to tune in, share with friends, get some more people up in this live stream, say hi in the chat, and share your experiences. Make sure to join our free mailing list, scamware101.com, and hit join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, reminders about when we're going live, let you know when we upload new videos and content. This next group of scams we're going to talk about here, QR code scams. And these QR code scams are important to be aware of. They've become more and more common nowadays, and they've brought new life into the traditional scam letters that were being sent out, scam postcards and scam letters that are sent through postal service. Now scammers slap a QR code on those letters and postcards and make them that much easier for people to fall for the scam and access their malicious websites. So it's important to be aware of these QR code scams, especially when you're out in public. Right? There's been reports of these scammers slapping malicious QR codes on top of legit QR codes. Right, and the first example we're going to talk about is a free gift postcard scam. They use a QR code. And look, it's important to be aware of the scam, whether it's got a QR code on it or not. You get a postcard in the mail offering a free gift. Be suspicious. But basically, victims receive a physical postcard in the mail offering a free gift. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by scanning a QR code, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. And here's an example of that free gift postcard they might receive that has a QR code on it. And this example is offering you free wireless earbuds. If you scan that QR code, you'll be taken to a fake website. If you scan the code, it takes you to a phishing website that captures your personal information such as name, address, Amazon account information, and even your credit card number. Oh, Katie, let's see here. Katie says, when I click yes to subscribe to mailing list, a marketing website comes up. You know what? I was going to mention to you, I saw you subscribe, but it says that you didn't click the activation link yet, though. So you're getting taken to some marketing website? Oh, that's messed up. What marketing website comes up? Yeah, Katie, definitely let me know. I gotta get that fixed. But yeah, watch out for this postcard. Yeah, Katie, I definitely want to talk to you about that. Maybe if you're still around after the presentation, or I could email you later. We could work on it because that's not good. The mail list isn't working right. Yeah, so watch out for these free gift offers that have QR codes. The thing about QR codes too is they're being used not just out in the wild and on physical scams. They're being sent through email. They're being attached to text messages. They're a way to bypass these spam filters too. So watch out for these QR code free gift offers. The next example I want to talk about when it comes to QR codes that there's been reports of, just to give you an idea of what these scammers are doing. They've been printing out these QR code stickers and they've been putting them onto parking meters, right? Because we know that nowadays a lot of these parking meters, they have QR codes to scan and you pay through a parking app. Well, these scammers, they've been slapping their QR codes on top of the parking meter codes. So the victims think they're paying for parking. They're actually taking the fake website. Their payment details are stolen. And then on top of it, they get a ticket for not paying parking. Just add insult to injury. So important to be aware of that when you're scanning QR codes in public, whether it's on a parking meter or on anything. You want to make sure it's not tampered with. It doesn't look like a sticker is placed on top of it. All right, because that's what scammers are doing. Yeah, Katie, I'll test the after the live stream. I'm gonna test the mail list, see what it does for me, and I'll shoot you an email too. Because I mean, the whole service is through a service called GetResponse. So like maybe it took you to GetResponse for some reason, but it still should have activated you. Like something's broken. Like if it's taking you to some marketing website and not activating it, because I noticed your email wasn't activated. So if you're clicking a link, like it's definitely not working. So it's yeah, if it's not working for other people too, that's definitely a problem. So I'll look into it and find out for sure. Thank you for letting me know. The next example of a QR code scam you might find in public. These scammers have been leaving fake parking tickets in people's windshield. And we've been seeing reports of this coming from cities like Houston and Denver. Right? And you get these fake parking tickets left in your windshield, and they have a QR code to scan. In this example, we're covering the QR code, but you can see how it's a parking violation. It says you owe $75, and it's got the QR code to scan. All right, but it's a scam. And the thing about this scam too is a lot of people probably never even realize they got scammed. They think they actually paid a real parking violation. So don't fall for this if somebody's leaving you a fake ticket in your windshield. Okay, so something must be broken over there with the mail list, the GetResponse. Huh. because GetResponse is the mailing list service, but I mean, you shouldn't. It should pop up and say you're confirmed. Does it give you an error message or anything, or it just takes you to the marketing page? All right, so this next batch of scams we're going to talk about, these next two are definitely important to be aware of during the holidays. Okay, yeah, that's messed up, Katie, that it's taking you to their page. All right, I'll have to look into that and get that fixed up. I'll let you know what I find out about that, because that's a problem. All right, let's talk about this next scam here, undeliverable package scams, and we've been starting to see an increase in reports about this scam too, because this also picks up during the holidays. We started getting more reports of it starting last month. And yeah, because during the holidays, everybody's sending and receiving more packages, so they're more likely to fall for this type of scam. And how this scam works is victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages and are asked to click a link to resolve. The link opens a fake website impersonating UPS, FedEx, and USPS. Any personal or financial details provided by the victim are stolen by the scammers. Right? There never was a package. And we saw this scam a lot last year. Picked up a lot during the holidays, and then it slowed down a little bit, but then it started picking up again now, and I'm sure we're going to see more again. So it's important to be aware that FedEx, UPS, USPS, they don't send out text messages like this. They don't send these undeliverable text message notifications. You have to actually specifically track a specific package to get notified about it. You just don't get random messages about every package that supposedly is being sent to you. Right. So it's important to recognize that any message you get saying you have an undeliverable package, it's a scam. Don't trust it. And some examples of what that looks like. UPS ground, reschedule your shipment delivery. We attempted to deliver UPS package on June 20th. They had the grammar mistake in this one. But we're unable to contact you, and the delivery cannot be completed. Your package needs to be signed for in person, so please reschedule the delivery by doing the following. All right? And then it has a link to a fake website to try to make it look like it points to UPS, but it actually points to a different website. Scam website. Here's another older example from last year from USPS. Due to an invalid address, you have a package that needs to be delivered, but it has been suspended due to incorrect delivery address. If you do not update your package before 24 hours, your package will be returned to sender. To deliver your package, please update the address by clicking the link below. And it's got a link to the fake website. Another example, this is one that was sent in a group text, and they renamed the group chat to USPS, which is a little trick they try to use to make it seem more believable in this case. So if someone sees it actually says USPS and says, since the package does not have a house number, your package transportation is interrupted. Please update. It's got the link to click. But it's a fake, it's a scam just trying to steal your details. And here's two more examples. In these text messages, they actually have an attachment, right? And they also have the USPS logo there. They try to make it look pretty legit. Dear customer, your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on the HTML file above to update your address. All right, and it has an HTML file attached. Again, never open attachments that you weren't expecting from an unsolicited source that you weren't expecting, whether it's a text message or an email, right? Because it could take you to a fake website or even install a virus. Here's another text message, very similar. It says got a PDF file attached that they tell you to open and click. So all scams, don't fall for them if you receive these text messages, especially as the holidays start approaching. Again, these delivery services do not send text messages like these. It's a 100% scam. And if you did click on a link, it might take you to a website that looks like this. Close some of these tabs. All right, so you click one of these links, it takes you to a fake website. that looks realistic. It'll look legit. It'll have USPS's logo, right? Their color theme. It's a pretty legit looking website. A fake tracking number there. Right, but any details you enter will get stolen. Any payment details, shipping details, you actually give them to a scammer. Yeah, so don't fall for this scam during the holidays. Again, we saw it a lot last year. Katie, you said you haven't seen this one yet, but I'm sure it's coming. I bet you it is. I'm curious. Let me know when you get one, because they probably are coming. Surprised you didn't get one last year. This was a real popular one last year. Also, when it comes to these undeliverable packages, there's another version of this one that popped up last year, right around this time last year during Black Friday. We were the first and only to report on this specific version of this scam. We have a video about it that we posted last year and did a report about this one. But we were the only one to really do a report on this. We share screenshots of the email. All right, and yeah, it was pretty cool. But anyway, so the email comes in. It tells you there's an issue with your package. It's delayed. All right, it's got the FedEx logo here. And the text message version we showed you, it says to pay a redelivery fee. This email version, it says they're offering you a compensation product. Right? They apologize for the delay, and they're offering you a compensation product. Right? You can see this one came in November 16th last year, and impersonates FedEx. And then a week later, November 22nd, here's almost an identical one, but impersonates UPS. All right, you can see both these emails. They use the same scam. Your package is delayed or missing, and they're offering you a compensation product. All right, but if you click that link, you'll be taken to a fake retail website. It'll list a bunch of products you could get, but they're going to try to get you to pay shipping. And by shipping, what I mean by that is they're going to steal whatever payment details you enter. You're never going to receive anything. All right, but there's another version of the undeliverable package scam. The more traditional one, the more common one is the text message one. That's the one everybody is more familiar with. Getting a text message one and paying a redelivery fee, right? But this email one was a different spin-off and different variation that appeared last year, right in time for Black Friday. November 22nd, November 16th. Right, so right in time for the holidays. So it's probably circulating again right now this year. So be aware of it, and don't trust it if you get it. These fake undeliverable package scams. Yeah, every week towards the end of these live streams, what we do is we'll check out the AARP scam tracker map and just see what scams people are reporting. And for the past couple of weeks, we definitely saw an increase in the undeliverable package scam, the text message versions. I was seeing those getting reported a little bit more. So there's definitely starting to increase as expected this year. So this next scam we're going to talk about, we're going to actually piggyback off of that undeliverable package scam email. Because if you click the link, what happens, you're actually taken to a fake retail website, which is a whole other scam in itself that's important to be aware of, is these fake retail websites. And basically, scammers create them, these fake websites, to sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. All right. And we see this every year. Look, these fake retail websites, they're up all year round. Right? This year, there was a big article about was a jewelry store was going out of business. So scammers put up a bunch of fake websites that imitated the legit website, and they did like a going out of business sale. So people were buying all this thousands of dollars of expensive jewelry from these fake retail websites that they thought were legit websites. So we see these types of scams all year round, but they do pick up during the holidays because there's a lot of holiday shopping going on, right? And it takes people more time to figure out they've been scammed. They're waiting for the package to arrive, and then it never arrives, right? So we're going to see an increase in these fake retail websites during the holidays. And here's a few examples from last year. And again, these were actually linked to from the undeliverable package scam we just looked at, but they work the same way, regardless of how you get sent to one of these fake retail websites. We'll talk about that in a minute. But an example, you see Black Friday sale. They got the fake banner across the top. In this case, they're offering you wireless headphones are valued at $175, but they say just pay for shipping, $8.95. And that's a big red flag. What these scammers do is they'll offer you these amazing products that are worth hundreds of dollars, but they'll say just pay shipping, $8. Right? But it's a scam. They're going to steal whatever payment details you enter, and you'll never get the item. Sometimes you get some counterfeit stuff, but in most cases, you're just going to steal your payment details here. You see how they take advantage of the holiday here? They put the banner across the top. Another example from the same scam. This one says it's a portable heater worth $175. Just pay shipping. Right, but it's a scam. Stealing the details you enter. Here's another. Wireless earbuds. Right, Black Friday sale. Valued $175. $8. Just pay shipping. This is an example about how the scammers use the trending items too. Notice how an earlier example for that was that postcard free gift. Right, they offered you the earbuds as a free gift. Well, now here's the fake retail website offering the same item, right? Because the wireless, earbuds are a hot item. I'm assuming the Boo-Boos are probably going to be hot this year, so watch out for those offers. They're too good to be true. And really, that's what it comes down to with these fake retail websites. If the offer's too good to be true, you have to be suspicious. If it's on a website you've never heard of before and never seen any reports about, and look, you got to be suspicious, especially during this time of year. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So be careful when you see these offers. And you can land on these websites in many ways. You can land on them through emails, right? Whether it's one of those scam emails about the undeliverable package, or it could just be a fake retail offer. You get an email that says, hey, special offer for valued customer, free earbuds, right? It's just a fake email. It takes you to these fake retail websites, right? Or it could be an ad on social media, right? Steve, if you're still watching, you mentioned earlier, red flag with social media. Well, the ads on there. Scammers place these ads just like anybody else. And the ad could say, free wireless earbuds. It takes you to this fake website. So you can't trust ads on social media. Same thing as Google search results. Scammers purchase sponsored listings and search results too. So maybe you're searching for wireless earbuds on Google, right? Well, a scammer could have bought a paid search result, and the first result takes to that fake website. So always be suspicious about these too good to be true offers. I don't fall for them, especially during the holidays. All right. We're going to hop over to our next scam here. Talk about grandparent scams. So grandparent scams are one of those scams it's really a heinous scam. Everybody should be disgusted by it. It's called grandparent scam for a reason, because it targets grandparents and older folks. It also uses their children as bait. So if you're the younger person in this situation, your children in this situation, you should be aggravated at these scammers for using you as bait to trick your parents and your grandparents, right? If you're the parents or the grandparents in this situation, then you should be disgusted because they're using your children to trick you into losing all your money, right? So it's important to be aware of this type of scam. And if you're younger folks, make sure the older folks in your life are aware of this, not to fall for it if they find themselves receiving a call like this. But basically, scammers impersonate a distressed relative claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, or lawyers to extract even more money from their victim. Okay, he's going to boot school. I will be back next week. All right, Katie. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Always appreciate you. You're the number one member right now, the only member so far. So you'll always hold that title as the number one member. I appreciate you. So happy Thanksgiving. Have a great week and weekend. And we'll see you next week, Katie. Appreciate you. Thanks again for... and I'm going to email you about the mailing list. We got to figure out what's going on with that. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. We'll definitely get it figured out. So, all right. So these grandparent scams, right? Again, so scammers impersonate a distressed relative claiming to be arrested or needing financial help. They're targeting grandparents. They're targeting seniors. And you might be thinking to yourself, how could someone, I would know if it was a loved one who was calling me in distress, right? Well, maybe not so much. I actually have a video to share with you. And when I saw this video, it kind of put it in perspective about how somebody could fall for this type of scam where the scammer impersonates a loved one, right? Because obviously you would think I would recognize it if it was a scammer impersonating my loved one. I would recognize if it was actually a scammer or not, or it was my loved one. But maybe not, right? So we're going to play an example here of this scammer in the Dominican Republic. And he's actually doing a grandparent scam. And you get to see exactly what he says. You get to see him imitating the loved one. And after watching this, maybe you can understand how someone could fall for this, right? Because really only the first 20 seconds of this example, the first 20 seconds is when he impersonates a loved one. And they're in distress. They're crying, right? It could be anybody's loved one in distress, right? It happens very quickly. And I think it kind of shows how someone could fall for this, right? But just to frame this a little bit more for you before we watch it. So this scammer is located in the Dominican Republic. And this clip is actually from a longer video that was posted by a YouTuber that goes by name Scam Sandwich. So check out his YouTube channel if you want to see the full video and his other videos. So YouTuber Scam Sandwich. Right. So this is a small clip from that video. But basically what he did was he actually hacked into this scammer's computer and he recorded him on webcam while he was doing this grandparent scam. So I'm going to show you a short clip, just kind of show you what to expect and how it works. But you go check out the full clip on his channel. And I mean, he confronts the scammer and it's pretty entertaining. But for the purpose of this live stream, we're just going to show you a short clip to kind of give you an idea of how these scams get initiated and how people could fall for a scammer impersonating a loved one, right? And that's what this scammer is. So he's known as an opener, right? He's the one that calls up the victim and initiates and opens the scam. And then he tells the victim to stand by and he hands it off to other scammers to collect money. But this is a great example of how these grandparent scams are opened and how somebody could fall for them. So let's watch this video and let me know in the chat in the comments what you think.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next. So that's a grandparent scam. Can you see how that can be convincing to somebody? He only impersonates a distressed relative for like 20 seconds. All right, so it's a quick impersonation of relative, and then he hands off and starts impersonating the police officer. All right, and I'm not sure if you noticed, but when we first played it too, the relative, right off the bat, when he starts impersonating the relative, you know, Mom, I've been in jail, I'm in trouble, right? The first thing that the mother says, Linda? So she just gave away her daughter's name to the scammer, all right, without even realizing it. So these scammers are clever. They know what to do. You know, make sure your parent, your grandparent is aware of that type of scam, or if you are the parent or grandparent, be aware of it, right? Don't fall for it. You got to hang up. As scary as the situation might be, you got to hang up and call your loved one. You actually confirm with them. Don't fall for the tricks that these scammers use to try to get you not to, not to stop and think. So this next scam we're going to talk about is fake order scams. One sec, just get this slide up here for you. Okay, cool. So this next scam we're going to talk about here. And by the way, if you're just joining, hit that like button. Let me know in the chat and the comments that you're watching. We want to hear from you. We're just crossed over our second hour, entering our third hour of the live stream tonight. So we'll be going for at least another hour or so this evening. So hit that like button, invite some friends over, share your experiences. We want to hear from you. What scams are you being targeted with? What scams have your friends fallen for? Spread some awareness about these scams. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Free to join. Now, let's talk about these fake order scams. So that's basically when victims receive. Actually, first, let me frame this real quick for you. These fake order scams, right? We're being targeted from all directions by these fake order scams. And what I mean by that, we're being targeted on the phone. We're being targeted through text message. We're being targeted through emails. We're being targeted from all directions by these fake order scams. And what they are is basically victims receive a notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal personal and financial information. Right? So basically, the idea of this scam is to trick the victim into calling a fake tech support number. And they do that by sending them a fake notification, whether it's a text message, an email, or a phone call that says, hey, you placed an order. To dispute it, call us back. But it's a scam. They're just trying to get the victim on the phone. Right. We got to spend a little time on this one because it is a really common scam, important to be aware of. A lot of people losing a lot of money to this one. Right. And the first example that we're going to share with you is a text message version of this scam. Right. Many people reported this same text message to me, and I received it myself quite a few times. And it's the fake order notification that impersonates Apple. Right. Apple approval notice. We have noticed that your Apple iCloud ID was recently used at Apple Store for $143 paid by Apple Prepay. All right, and then it continues to say, call this number immediately to cancel this charge. And the idea is they're trying to trick you to call this number, to dispute this charge that you didn't make. But the charge isn't real. This isn't really Apple. This is a scam text message, and they're trying to trick you into calling that number for support. You call that number, it's going to connect you to a scammer. Right, that's how these fake order notifications work. The thing that's tricky about them is they can say anything was purchased. They can impersonate any vendor. They can say any item was purchased. Right? And the idea is they just want you to call back this number to dispute it. So they can literally say that anything was purchased from anywhere and try to trick you into calling this number. All right, so watch out for text messages like these, especially this Apple one. There's many other ones circulating. Right? You get a text message like this and you're concerned that's real. Instead of trusting the link or trusting the phone number, check your Apple app. Check your Apple account directly. Don't trust the links and the phone numbers that these unsolicited messages contain. All right, but I mentioned being targeted from all directions when it comes to these fake order scams, right? So that was a text message version of this scam. But there's also a phone call version. I have two examples of the phone call version to play for you right now. These fake order scams. And again, this is multiple people reported these phone calls. Important to be aware of them. And again, the idea of how these fake order scams work is they want to trick you into thinking an order was placed, and they try to trick you into talking to customer support, which is actually a scammer. Call us back at this number to dispute, or press 1 to dispute. It's actually get connected to a scammer. Right? So let's listen to this first example of a phone call that's circulating. This one impersonates Amazon, and it claims the MacBook Pro was purchased under your account. And it tries to get you to press 1 to dispute it. But pressing 1 will connect it to a scammer. All right? So let's take a listen.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
So that's the first example. We have a fake order scam phone call. It impersonates Amazon, claims that you purchased a MacBook Pro, and it tells you to press 1 to actually connect you to a scammer that's going to then try to steal your identity and your payment details. All right. So watch out for these fake order scams. They can impersonate any vendor. They can claim any item was purchased. Here's another version of one of these scams I'm going to play for you. This one impersonates Walmart and claims you purchased a PlayStation under your account. All right. If you get this phone call, don't trust it. Let's take a listen.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
So that's a second example of fake order scam. Phone call at Circulating. It's a robocall, right? And it tells you to press 1 or call number back at earliest convenience. Which, by the way, it's always a red flag when they say call number back without actually leaving a real number. All right, whenever they tell you call number back on caller ID, don't trust it. It's a scam. But anyway, those are two examples of these fake order scam phone calls that are actively circulating. And the idea is they try to get you to press 1 or to dispute an order, but the order never happened. It's not real. It's all scam. Just to get you on the phone. So now I mentioned for this type of scam that you're being targeted from all directions, right? I showed you the text message version of the scam, played you 2 phone calls that are actively circulating. Right, but there's also email to be concerned about. And we have a victim's story about an email version of this scam to share with you here. And this came out last year, August of last year. It still applies to today. A 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. The scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase. All right, so let's stop there before we continue with the story. That's the fake order notification scam, and she fell for it. Right? She got an email. It said she purchased an iPhone, and it called this number to dispute it. All right, she called the number. She was actually connected to a scammer. She thought she was calling Apple, but she was actually calling a scammer. All right, and she fell for the fake order scam. So now she's on the phone with scammers, thinking that she's talking to Apple and customer service. All right, so that's how the fake order scam works. But let's continue reading her story here, and kind of gives you some idea what happens after you fall for this scam. All right, so she's on the phone with them. She thinks she's talking to Apple, right? And she's told someone is using her identity. And there's multiple accounts open across various states. The scammers then connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 of gift cards to the scammers. All right. So, and again, notice the age, 23-year-old woman. So it's just another example of, the younger folks fall for these scams too. It's not just the older folks. All right. So it's important for everybody to be aware of these scams. And there you go. It's an email version of these fake order scams. So they're going to target you by text message. They're going to target you by email. They're going to target you with these phone calls. They could claim that they're any vendor. They could claim any item was purchased. The whole idea is they just want you to dispute it. All right. So don't fall for it. These fake order notification scams are a big problem. As you can see, they're targeting you from all directions. So. All right, we're entering into our third hour here of streaming. We start at 5:45 p.m. Eastern, so it's still going. We're going to go till about 8:45-ish, it looks like. So we got about another hour or so left. So still some good stuff coming up. Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the comments. Give me some reactions. It's time for our quick second coffee break of the evening. It's a quick 5-minute break. We usually take 2 because we stream for 3 hours, so we usually take 2 quick 5-minute breaks, which we're going to do right now. And we got some more good scams coming up. So don't go anywhere. Make sure to hit that like button. Let me play the theme song for you here while we wait. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scamming with truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, betting wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammerware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broke in despair. Stay woke, my equal, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. You acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
All right. All right, everybody. Entering our third hour. Returning from our second and final break of the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. We do this every week to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals like you, me, your friends, your loved ones. All important to be aware of. You can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. Make sure to join our free mailing list. Scamware101.com. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, some reminders when we're going to be live. All good stuff. Free to join. And if you want to help support our mission by sending us a couple bucks, we do take donations. Scamware101.com/donate. And we have memberships and super thanks enabled over on YouTube as well if you want to help out that way. We appreciate it all. But hey, we're just happy with a few likes, follows, and thank yous. Subscribers, some reactions. We appreciate it. Help us spread awareness about these scams. So this next scam we're going to talk about this evening, we're actually going to wrap up talking about 3 snail mail scams. Snail mail as in traditional mail, because scammers are still using traditional mail to send their scams. In this first example, we actually shared it a little earlier when we were talking about QR code scams, but it's worth showing again one more time as we talk about snail mail scams, is that postcard offering you a free gift, right? You get this postcard in the mail offering you free wireless earbuds. Maybe it has a QR code to scan, maybe it doesn't. All right, but if you go to a website or if you scan the QR code, it's actually a fake website. It's going to steal your login details, your credit card number. All right, so just because you actually receive a physical piece of mail, like a postcard or a letter, that doesn't make it any more legitimate than any other communication. You still have to be suspicious. You still have to, if it sounds too good to be true, you still have to wonder what the catch is, right? So don't fall for these types of scams. Even though they seem more personalized and arrive into your mailbox, it doesn't mean you can trust it any more than the next thing, right? So be aware of that. Free gift offers that arrive to your mailbox, sweepstakes, things like that. But let's talk about this one a little bit. This next one is inheritance scams. So the thing about these inheritance scams is, look, you can receive emails that are inheritance scams. Someone could be sending you a message on Facebook claiming that they're a long-lost relative, right? But there's still plenty of inheritance scams in traditional mail, traditional postal service mail. So you receive these letters that they impersonate law offices, right? And they'll claim that you are entitled to an inheritance from an unknown relative. Right? Someone shares the same last name as you, therefore you're entitled to their insurance claim. That's what they say, right? And this is all a scam. What they do is it's meant to either steal your personal details, your banking details, things like that, or it's designed to trick you into paying fees and taxes on the inheritance first, right? Then you never receive the inheritance, and the scammers steal any taxes or fees you supposedly paid. And again, this is an active scam still circulating and through traditional mail service, through the traditional postal service. All right? And this example that we have here for you is actually of a letter of this type of scam. Right? Then you can see how it impersonates a law office. It has the logo up top and letterhead. Right? And it says, "Dear," whoever's addressed to. And it claims that they're a law firm in Canada. Their client had an insurance policy that was payable upon death of $10.8 million, right? And you share the same last name as their client, who their client passed away 4 years ago because of COVID-19. And since you share the same last name, you're entitled to that inheritance. And they'll handle it all for you. They have all the necessary documentation to expedite the process. Right? And of course, they'll say this claim requires a high level of confidentiality. And that's that red flag we talked about earlier when they're requesting confidentiality and secrecy. And not for nothing, but who are they to tell you whether or not to share with someone that you're getting an inheritance? Right? It's not up to them to tell you that. But they're a scammer, so they just don't want you talking to anybody. The more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam, right? So they're going to come up with their reason and ask you to keep it confidential. It requires a high level of confidentiality. Right? But so think about it. So they're saying you're entitled to a $10.8 million inheritance. If you fall for this and you reach back out to them, what they're going to do is they're probably going to have you set up a bank account. They're going to steal all the details and everything of the bank account you set up, right? And then they're going to try to probably get you to pay or deposit fees and taxes into that account, right? Fees and taxes on $10.8 million. So you're going to say that you have to provide that first before getting the payment, right? You put that money into the account, they take it, you never get the payment, and you're out of whatever taxes and fees that they claimed would be worth on $10.8 million. Now, something to keep in mind about this scam, right? You get this letter. So a little detail that makes it a little bit more convincing is the person is addressed to. We have blurred out an example here, but she says, "Dear," whoever. The person it's addressed to, they actually make sure that the last name of their supposed client who passed away, blurred out here, but but they actually make it so the last name matches the person the letter's addressed to. All right? So if you get this letter, the last name of their deceased client, they'll make sure it matches whatever your last name is. So there's a little attention to detail that makes it that much more believable that people might fall for it. But don't fall for it. It's a scam. You get a letter like this, if you quickly Google the law office name or a couple sentences from the letter, you'll find plenty of reports of other people reporting the exact same letter. Word for word, same law office. It's just the names get swapped out to match their names. All right, so it's a very common scam, actively circulating. You see this is addressed, it's dated November 29th, 2024, so it's about a year old. All right, and we've seen reports of this still on the AARP scam tracker map. Recent reports of this letter's still circulating. So we know this one's still active, still circulating. It's a great example of a snail mail scam and an inheritance scam that's been active for years, many years. All right. So again, just because it's a snail mail scam version, be aware of the email versions too. Same versions apply to the emails that claim you're entitled to inheritance. But just because you receive an actual physical letter in the mail, that doesn't mean you could trust it. All right, so watch out for this inheritance scam, this type of letter, if you receive it, and be aware. Don't fall for it. Inheritance scams. This last scam on the list this evening is it's a mystery shopper scam. But technically they call it a secret survey check scam. But really it's a mystery shopper check scam. It's probably a name you might be more familiar with. A mystery shopper check scam or secret survey check scam. And basically what happens here is the victim receives a letter in the mail, a snail mail letter. Here's an example. And it impersonates Walgreens and CVS and says, "Congratulations, you've been assigned your first secret survey assignment." Right? So have fun, make money. The letter includes instructions about what to do. And also included with the letter in the envelope is a check. Right? An actual check. That's all part of the scam. Right? And the idea is they say that you've been selected as a mystery shopper. The check's included. Right? The check for $2,480. And that's to cover the cost of buying 4 $500 gift cards, and you keep the extra $480 as your commission. Right? And the letter instructs you to deposit the check, and then within 12 to 24 hours, purchase the gift cards and provide them. Right? And then you keep the balance as your commission. Right? You already got the check in hand, easy peasy. You figure it's easy money, right? But it's a scam. A big red flag if you get a check in the mail, right? That's a big red flag, a check that you weren't expecting. Suddenly there's just a check from someone like, "Hey, here's a check," And the idea is what happens is when you deposit this check, at first it's going to go through, right? And then you're going to purchase these gift cards, you send them to the scammer, right? And then what happens though is about 2 days later, that check's going to bounce. You get notified by the bank, the funds are gone, the check gets reversed, and now that money that you spent, that $2,000 on gift cards, is gone. And you provide them to the scammer. All right, so that's how this works. It's a mystery shopper scam. It uses a check, a bad check. Right, and in this example of a scam, it instructs you to go to either CVS or Walgreens and instructs you to purchase either Apple gift cards, Razer gift cards, Nike gift cards, or Steam Wallet gift cards. But we have another example of a scam, very similar. Right? This impersonates Walgreens and CVS. The included check was $1,987, so it's a different amount, but it's the same idea. And instructions are the same, to deposit it and then within 12 to 24 hours to purchase 3 $500 gift cards. All right. In this case, it only wants you to purchase Apple gift cards. So this scammer only prefers Apple gift cards, but it lists a whole bunch of other stores you could go to. Walgreens, Best Buy, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, Family Dollar, Meijer, Kroger, Safeway, Dollar General, Walmart, Speedway, Albertsons. All right. So, but it's the same deal. It tells you to purchase gift cards, provide the gift cards. All right, but then what happens is 2 days later, the check bounces and that $1,500 that you spent is gone. Oh, and to add insult to injury, the bank hits you with a fee for depositing a bad check. So don't fall for this mystery shopper secret survey scam. Right? It's a red flag if you get some kind of check in mail you weren't expecting. For a job that you didn't even apply for. So that's it. We covered about 21 types of scams this evening. We still have a little bit more coming up, though. We're going to go check out the ARP scam tracker map. That's always a fun part of the live stream here. We're going to go check out the scam tracker map, see what people are reporting, make sure that the scams that we discussed are still relevant and being reported. And then we'll talk about some more scams that they show that maybe we don't usually cover on our live stream here. They're still important to be aware of. So just joining, welcome to the live stream. Say hi, let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. We're streaming live on Instagram. We were on Facebook earlier, but it crashed again. So we're probably not going to stream on Facebook anymore. I always have problems with them every week. But we're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. Nigella, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always good to see you, Nigella. Thank you for joining. I feel bad though. You're on the West Coast, so you always join towards the end. You always catch the same last 30 minutes or an hour of live stream. But we are going to check out the ARP scam tracker map. So, you know what? It's something different every time, at least anyway, right? So, over on our website, scamware101.com, under the tools and software section, we have a lot of useful links here. Definitely worth checking out. But all the way at the bottom here, the last link we have is an ARP scam tracking map. And what we'd like to do on our weekly live streams here is bring up the ARP scam tracker map and see what kind of reports are coming in recently. And let's see. So these reports, so most recent ones, 11/20. Okay. Actually, when was our last live stream? Have they updated since our last live stream? Bear with me one sec, guys. I just want to check out something real quick. I think our last live stream was on the 20th. It was. And then the examples that we were showing. Okay, cool. So, good. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be the same examples as last week. Good. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm on the ARP scam tracking map. And the most recent examples here are from 11/20. So it's about 5 days ago. That's fine, though. There's still good recent examples here. And we're going to see what people are reporting and get an idea what scams are trending. We're going to see if the scams, if we covered them, if they're listed here, and then the ones that aren't, that are definitely worth discussing. So let's start off with the first report here that we see. It says health-related scam. Look, and every week we end up mentioning this one because we see it on the ARP scam tracker map. And these health care scams, health insurance, Medicare, they're popular right now, especially because of open enrollment. Right, we got the healthcare open enrollment going on, Medicaid, right? And there's Medicare. There's a big Medicare scam going around. So let's see what this report says. Received a text saying, thanks for shopping for health insurance, followed by 2 calls the night prior. I have not been shopping for any insurance. Today I received over 35 calls, mostly different numbers. I had to start blocking after each attempt. I found out how to turn on block unknown numbers, and a few more calls have come through, which I manually blocked. Okay, I would like more information, but look, just an overall warning about health insurance scams, open enrollment scams, Medicare, Medicaid scams, like, look, anything medical related is another example of you have to verify and confirm. Don't give out any information. You know, they're calling up, they're asking for your Medicare numbers, right, and your Medicaid numbers. Don't give out those details to anybody that calls you up. You know, even if they claim to be with your insurance company or they claim to be with Medicaid or your doctor's office, right, don't trust them. You got to hang up and then call back directly if you're concerned that it's real. But be aware that there's lots of medical scams going on as far as impersonating your insurance company, impersonating Medicare, impersonating your doctor. Right, so you can't give that information right off the bat to these unsolicited phone calls. You need to hang up and call back through official channels, right? Because once they have your details, especially when it comes to Medicare, right? Once they have your number, what they're going to do is they're going to use that to do all this healthcare fraud. They're going to file claims that are attached to your Medicare information. They're going to purchase equipment and try to resell it, or try to file claims for services they didn't provide, right? And they're going to link it to your health insurance, your Medicare, right? So, yeah, very common scam. Don't fall for it. Be very careful who you reveal that information to, and don't trust unsolicited phone calls about anything else related. So, see, now Jello's mentioning most health-related scams are from Rawalpindi city in Pakistan. I probably didn't say that right, but Pakistan, interesting. Yeah, a lot of these scams that Pakistan or anywhere else, they come from overseas, which is why they're so hard to shut down. They're out of reach from law enforcement a lot of times. How are you going to, press charges against somebody in Pakistan that stole money from you? Where are you going to go? Who's going to do that for you? You know what I mean? So, let's see what this next report is. I've been getting phone calls that I applied for a $68,000 loan calling from an underwriting department. This scam's been going on for a while. These loan phone calls, I get them all the time in emails, whether phone calls or emails, saying I've been approved for crazy amounts of money. He didn't give any details about it. He's just letting us know he's getting the phone calls. Yeah, they do that, but a lot of times it's to steal your information or get you to provide banking account details or create new bank accounts and accounts with them. Let's see, inheritance scam. Oh, cool. Let's see what this says. This is, since we just covered, one of the last scams we just discussed was an inheritance scam. It was a snail mail version. I brought up the letter as an example. Let's see what this report on the AARP Scam Tracker map says. Contacted by a lawyer in Canada to tell me there's a guy with the same last name that has an uncollected insurance policy of $11 million, and they can't find a next of kin. And it was an email. Okay, great. So, what? There we go. This is a nice little report that just adds on to our inheritance scam example that we just shared with you, right? We showed you a letter version that impersonates a law office in Canada, an actual physical letter, claiming someone with the last name passed away and you're entitled to an inheritance. And this guy's reporting an email. The same narrative, same type of scam. So, look, it's a good example of these inheritance scams, and if there's an email version, there's probably a letter version. If there's a letter version, there's probably an email version. If there's a text message version, then there's probably an email version. If there's an email version, then there's probably text. Like, these scams, they cross all forms of communication. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that's a good report. Be aware of those inheritance scams. Let's see. Here's one. This looks like it might be a health or social security type one. Let's see. I got a phone call and she said, need to finish my social security disability claim. She had private info. She ended a call when I said I never filed the claim. Not too many details, but something to keep in mind here, worth noting, is the report says she had private info. Look, a lot of these scammers, they'll know things about you, and it's important to realize that. Don't be fooled because they know things about you. Unfortunately, a lot of our private information is available out there because of third parties who have had our data stolen from them, right? All those third-party services and companies that we use, right? They get breached and our information gets stolen. So scammers will know things about us, right? They'll know like our payment details already that are being used for another company, right? Or like a portion of them. They'll know our name, address. Sometimes they'll know our social security number already. They'll know what bank you have already sometimes. Unfortunately, because of all these healthcare breaches, a lot of times they know so much health information about you, your doctor office, your insurance company, right? Your medical history. They know so much about you, your pharmacy. And they call up and they're able to impersonate these offices and these people much easier and become much more believable because they know so much about you. It's like, oh, well, they know my insurance information. Maybe it really is my insurance company, right? But it's a scam. Even if they know things about you, you have to hang up. You have to hang up and then call back through official channels if you think it's real. No matter how convincing they are, you just can't accept unsolicited calls anymore, unsolicited contacts. You have to verify. Let's see what these next reports are. By the way, hit that like button if you haven't yet. Still some time to hit that like button. Say hi in the chat and the comments. I want to hear from you. Debt-related scam. They call and leave a message to call back because you owe a balance that will lead to added fees or follow-up notices. Let's see. I don't think they gave any details about this one. Yeah, no details, so we won't go into that one. Huh. This guy doesn't go into details, but he does say caller seeking Medicare A and B numbers, right? So again, somebody calls you asking for your Medicare numbers. Don't trust it. It's a scam. A lot of times they'll say, have you received your new Medicare card yet? No. Okay, well, what is your number? And we'll make sure we get it sent out to you. But no, that's a trick. They're trying to get your details. Investment fraud scam. I was informed of a deposit into my account and to withdraw an amount, $38 million, and associate will pick up the funds. Let's see what this says. Nah, it doesn't give many details. I was informed of a deposit into my account to withdraw an amount, and our associate will pick up the funds in my account. All right, they don't give much details about this scam, but it does sound like the type of scam where they overpay you or they over-transfer money into your account, they say. But what they're actually doing is they're trying to trick you into withdrawing money from your account and giving it to them. So, for example, you'll be tricked to get on the phone with somebody, right? Let's say you're on the phone with PayPal because you received an email saying you got charged something on PayPal. Complete lie, complete fake narrative, but they trick you into calling. You think you're talking to PayPal. Okay, then you're on the phone with PayPal, and they'll say something like, "Okay," they'll connect to your computer. They'll have you bring up your account, right? And they'll say, "Okay, we're going to transfer a test amount into your account. We're going to transfer $800 into your account or $80 in your account," right? And then what to do is the guy will be like, "Oh no, I accidentally transferred $38,000 into your account. This is very bad. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to lose my job." You can see on your screen I transferred $38,000, right? But they actually manipulated your screen because they're on your computer, right? So the person's sitting there and they think they're logged into your account. They see on their account, wow, $38,000 showed up. You really did accidentally transfer $38,000 to me. Oh no. And this person's going to lose their job. "Please, sir, please, can you please go and withdraw the money? And I'll have my associates pick it up from the house. Please go to the bank right now and withdraw $38,000. And I'll have my associates come pick it up." But it's a scam, right? So the person goes, they withdraw $38,000 because they think there's an extra $38,000 in their account, but there's not. Right? And notice how they said they'll have an associate pick it up. That's an example of how these scammers, they use couriers now. They'll have an Uber courier come and pick up cash from you. Right? So this report didn't give many examples, but it did have quite a few things worth talking about. So anyway, watch out for that type of scam where it appears like they deposit extra money into your account. Right. Travel-related scam. Let's see. So this one's interesting. I received a call saying that my flight has been placed on standby. I need to pay $200 to fix the flight. I wish to get more details about this scam, but I have been noticing flights and travel plans and vacation rentals being reported more recently in certain scams. Maybe because of season, right? It's cold in certain areas of the country, so maybe these type of scams pick up because of the more people are traveling on vacation or moving around, right? They mentioned the flights. Maybe that's because of all the recent chaos with airports and flights being canceled and delayed, right? So maybe these type of scams are picking up because of that reason. But I recall on our last live stream, we were reading a report about somebody who said that they said that the hotel or the travel agent got hacked or something, but that was just an assumption. But still, they reported, their travel plans. Somebody called them, knew about their travel plans. All right, so it's interesting that this person received a call, about somebody knowing about their flight. Is that random? Maybe. It could be a numbers game. They just know that a lot of people are traveling this time of year because of the holidays. There we go. You know what this is? A lot of people are traveling because of the year. The holidays. This could be a scam we start seeing more of. Because they know it's a numbers game. They know X amount of people are going to actually have flights scheduled. Right? And they get a text message like this. They're likely to believe, oh, my flight got impacted. Yeah, so watch out for this scam. This is another one we expect to pick up during the holidays. Again, wish they gave more details, but hey, worth talking about, worth being aware of. What do y'all think of that? You with me? We'll check out a few more scams here. We'll wrap up after these last four reports are on this page. Gift card scams and fraud. I was sent an email from an old friend asking me to purchase a $300 DoorDash gift card for her niece's birthday today. Huh? This is a interesting one because her credit card was having issues. The email it was sent from was not my friend's email. So this is an interesting one. It's not a large number as far as a scam, but it's a little trick to try and get a gift card purchased from somebody, and it's impersonating your friend, right? And these friend impersonation scams are kind of interesting because you wouldn't think that you would recognize a scammer impersonating your friend. A lot of times you will, right? But if it's a quick request like, hey, listen, I'm having a problem with my credit card. I need to get my niece a gift. Do you mind scoop up a $300 gift card for me and email it to me? Appreciate it, right? And they'll probably put something like, I have bad service. I'm on the train. Or I have bad service. I'm on my way to my niece's birthday party. I have bad service out here or something. Right? But anyway, it's a clever little trick that they use. It's similar to, hey, I'm stranded and my phone is almost dead. I'm using somebody else's phone. Could you send me a gift card for $300 or something? Or could you transfer me some money? I'm stranded. So they'll use these different narratives to try and get you to send them money. And they use it quick. They have an excuse not to go back and forth. You think your friend's in trouble. Okay, I'll send them $300 real quick. Anyway, it's an interesting scam. Watch out for it. I've been targeted with these on Facebook. I've had my friends' Facebook accounts, right? They get hacked. Somebody gets into their Facebook account. And they send a message to all the friends. And they're like, hey, I'm stranded. Can you send me $100 to help me get out of here? And they figure one of their friends is going to reply back and be like, hey, here you go. Keep getting calls from the loan department from a different phone number each time. I blocked about 50. Same thing as the other guy. 2 scammers who called me several times saying that they are doing proof of service. They also keep saying, what is this? They also keep sending me the same warning message about proof of service, demanding response. I have no idea what this is about. I wish you get more details. Sometimes it happens when you're looking at the reports. Sometimes you get these reports where they don't give it that many details. Other times you get really good ones. We might do another page. See, text message stating a photo attached from a 519 area code. No name, job recruitment offer, photo showing a business card. Let's see. This is a job scam. So you don't get much details. But, watch out for these text message job offers. Yeah, let's look at one more page of scams. Those last few weren't that great. Okay, now we're down to the 19th, or 29th and 19th. Government imposter. We are a business and receive multiple phone calls per day from multiple numbers. They scam various. I don't usually focus on business scams, but let's see what this person is saying because it sounds like it could be one that applies to individuals as well. Yeah, all right. So this guy's mentioning Medicare number. So it just confirms, these Medicare scams are huge right now. You get anybody calling up asking for your Medicare number or any health care information, don't give them it. It's a scam. The real estate scam. A man calling himself Matthew called me and is trying to rent me his 1-bedroom condo. I don't know. There's rental scams out there. I'm not going to go too much into those this evening, though. Let's see. I'm just going to type a post on Nextdoor that I had a table for sale and they wanted to use Zelle. All right, let's check out this one. Okay. I posted on Nextdoor that I had a table for sale and they wanted to use Zelle, $25, but then they needed to send me an additional $500. I called the number. The person on the phone got mad when I said this was a scam. They hung up. Okay, yes, this is a good example. This is a refund type. I forget the exact term. This scam is a refund scam or overpayment scam. But you see what happens. She's selling a table, right, that she wants $25 for it, right? But the person's saying that they need to send her an extra $500. Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to use stolen money from somewhere, right? They're going to send her $500 out of a stolen account. They're going to send her $500 from someone's bank account, right? And then when they pick up the table, they're going to try to be like, oh, give me back the money. An extra $500. All right. Or they'll try to convince her to send it back some other way. Like, oh, never mind, I can't pick up the table. Can you send me back that $500? Right? But what they're trying to do is they're trying to launder that $500 to her. They're trying to rip money off of somebody and route it through this person who's selling a $25 table. It's like, yeah, we'll buy that $25 table, but I have to send you $525. Are you able to just refund me the $500 when I pick up the table? All right. Well, what they're really doing is they're just trying to move that $500. Anyway, that's a good example. Interesting scam. Similar to that check one, right? They write you a bad check, and then, or it might be writing you a check from somebody else's account. Nah, and then we got this last one here. Here we go. Oh, perfect. This is an undeliverable package scam. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, so this is an interesting version of undeliverable package scam. I'm gonna have to screenshot this one and include it in our presentation next time about this. Stand by 1 second. Let me just grab a screenshot of this. So basically, it says a scammer called our store number at 6:30, referred to themselves as FedEx employee that needed money up front for a security camera that supposedly we purchased. Right. So this is like a fake order, undeliverable package scam, right? Except somebody's reaching out to them over the phone, impersonating FedEx, and they're saying they have a package that was purchased. It sounds like they have to pay. They'll pay to have it delivered. Bear with me 1 second. I'm screenshotting this for future reference. And then what they did was, in this case, it was an employee, but this could be targeted to any individual. You know, somebody could call you up, claiming to be from FedEx, claiming that you need to pay up front to have your package delivered. It'd be nice if they gave more of the narrative, but it sounds like an undeliverable package scam, right? And it says they had the employee take cash to a Bitcoin machine with a QR code of FedEx. Yeah, all right. Again, they didn't give enough detail, but basically what happened was it sounds like an undeliverable package scam. Starts over the phone. Someone impersonates FedEx, so they have a package that needs to be delivered, but they need to pay up front, maybe for a redelivery fee or something like that. And then they instructed the victim to pay by depositing cash into a Bitcoin machine. Right? So red flags. Bitcoin ATM, red flag. The fact they're calling you about an undeliverable package, red flag. Right? The QR codes that we mentioned, you got to be suspicious of QR codes. So this is a great report to kind of end the live stream on, because it confirms a few things that we discussed, and it also shares kind of like a new variation of this type of FedEx delivery service impersonation scam. Interesting. We're going to be seeing more of these types of delivery scams as the holidays approach. So important to be aware of them. Good stuff. All right, everybody. And you know what? On that note, we're going to wrap up this live stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending. I appreciate you all. Everybody that stuck around is still there. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure to hit that like button. Give me some reactions. Hit that heart. Saving this one example before I get these live streams closed out here. Just bear with me 1 sec while I save this example. All right, cool. And that wraps up this week's live stream, everybody. Thank you so much for attending. Again, I'm Jared with Scamware 101, trying to spread awareness of common scams, target you, your friends, your family, and individuals. Be aware, stay safe, especially with the holidays approaching this week and next month, right? Lots of scams we'll be picking up. It is scam season, important to be aware. Check out our videos. Make sure to subscribe to our free mailing list. We're going to be sending out some warnings to you as the holidays continue to approach. Scams to be aware of and watch out for. Visit scamware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free to join. Hit join mailing list, scamware101.com, and make sure to stay up to date and current on what scams to avoid. Make sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, and X. We need more followers on Facebook, so hit us up. Follow us on Facebook if you haven't yet. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those are the most common ones that we keep up to date and post content to. can also help out. Hit that super thanks button and super chat right over in YouTube. If you want to help us out with a few bucks, we appreciate it. We also have memberships enabled too. So you can subscribe to monthly membership, help support our mission, what we're doing over here. Don't forget to scoop up some Scamaware 101 merch. Right, we got coffee mugs, mouse pads, stickers, water bottles. Make great gifts during the holidays, stocking stuffers. Great gifts for the friends and the family members that keep on falling for scams. Also help support the mission over here. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much again for watching. And that's about it. Stay safe. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe in the holidays. And we'll be back, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, December 4th. Thursday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So see you then. And on that note, I'm going to close you out with our theme song and get these live streams ended. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scamming with truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pig butchering scams, back wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scamaware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, then you broke in despair. Stay woke, my equal, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or I'll start taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or I'll start taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.